We are
Cool beans.
live.
Kieran, dost thou have the brain power to put out the Discord message? Because I know the fans have been chomping at the bit for it.
Mayhaps.
I'll do the Twitter then.
And I will try not to burp in the microphone.
I messaged
Yeah,
Mike
please.
there just to let him know where I'm at because I'm more than happy to like write up one of the events this week
Sure.
for the site.
That'd be good. That'd be
Seeing
good.
as I'm not employed to do so by anyone just yet. But I'd still like to cover it because it's fun to cover it and it gives me an extra piece of writing anyway, doesn't it?
Yep, exactly.
See the amount of writing like sample articles that you need to write for some applications for these places. I had to write 2 news stories for IGN the other day, and that's for freelance that I might not get. Like, it's ridiculous how many hoops you need to jump through just to get even that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair though, IGN's rates are decent. I saw, and I think
Was that another one of those things that went round on Twitter again, talking
I
about
saw,
the freelance rates?
it was like Tina Amini, who's like editor in chief IGN. Like, I follow her on Twitter, and she basically put up like stuff about freelancing. She was saying out,
Yeah.
and then she basically put a link to like the freelancing guide for it, and basically that was really detailed. So it was saying like for each story, like nearly $100 per like story, like news story.
Ooh, that's
Like
really good.
that's really good. Apparently so. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know if that means like actual news stories, like flash news stories, like flash news being just like little quick burst stories you can get out. But again, it's like even the fact that it's that, I doubt it is like near 100, but the fact it's saying it means it's certainly above like $10, which was the other one.
Yeah.
I didn't get. I never ended up getting that one, sadly. But damn it, I found some really good stories that I really wish I could write up. But
Nice.
what else? Yes, the thing. So, trying to think. I don't know if I can be funny with this one. It takes a lot of energy out of me to be funny. When I try to be
Where
funny, I think when you try to do something, you never do a good job at it. Well, no, wait, that doesn't make sense.
well, what I can tell you for sure is, for some people, it just comes naturally, you know.
Bueno. What, you, Pete?
No,
Oh.
no, that's what I was making you believe that I was going with, but no.
Right. Bueno has arrived.
I will find the chat in a moment because I'm just currently writing this tweet out. I'm all over the place.
Yes. Hello, Britt. Tell us
Howdy.
how you are.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Howdy in my Audi. But I don't drive an Audi. I drive a BMW.
Yes. How is the old Beamer?
I have it. I've got it. I've got the message.
Oh, goodness.
Good.
I need a good Where's the emote though? Where is it? Oh, not the emote, the emoji. Where is it, man? Oh, where is it? Surely. Oh, is there no like?
What?
No emoji. If a hand pointing like at.
No, sadly, it sucks. But no, there isn't one of those.
Oh, that is upsetting.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's infuriating.
Oh well. Right, we're gonna have to make do and mend. It still works, but I really
It'll
want.
do.
Anyway,
It'll do.
we adapt. We move. Right.
Adapt and overcome.
Tell you what, last week felt weird not streaming because I constantly was looking for like the stream chat, and I was like, "What's going on here?"
That was a really good episode.
Right, I just got to do my checks in a minute.
Nana says, hello, and Kieran's back. Congrats on, hopefully, finishing your degree.
Indeed, thank you. I actually got my dissertation mark back.
Did you?
Was it like
got
amazing?
75 out of 100.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Very happy with that.
Yeah.
The first marker was very happy. She like basically the first marker and our feedback was like the only bad thing she said is that she wanted to know my character's backstory. She said, I think it would be good if you included a bit about how these characters got here. And the first I was like, I did want to include that, but I only had a certain few pages. Like, ideally I would have the episode longer, but because I was confined to like 30 pages, I had to just get the important stuff in.
Of course. So Brent put, my mum said that she needed help today, but didn't answer the call when I called this morning because he said, "Okay, I guess." I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay. And Nana put, that was probably my favourite episode you guys have done. Much appreciated. Really, really, really fun chat that we had, and obviously covered a lot of bases on that one. To be expected that we never heard a comment back from said deflammatory article writer.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting to, but hey.
We
Look,
him
I
a
gave him the
chance.
benefit of the doubt and gave him nearly 48 hours to respond, so...
Yep.
I tweeted him at 1 in the morning and gave him until like 7 a.m. like Saturday morning. So
Right.
yeah, he had a fair while to respond, but chose not to. So
yeah.
Connor McCarr, the guy who wrote the article about Daniel Lindholm, we tweeted him out, tweeted at him and asked if he wanted to make a comment about the episode, because I was actually willing to delay the episode to send the file to him so he could actually listen to it all first.
Yeah. And
But he never responded.
No.
So I had to go to, you know what they say, to go to print with the fact that there was no comment made.
Yep.
You know how they put in like an editorial where it's like, we reached out to this person for comment, but they declined. They didn't make a comment before we published. So it was basically that. Brent put, she probably is just at the lake with no service. I hope that's the case.
That's what I do.
Just keep trying. Just give her a message or something, and she'll probably get back to it. And she's got some balls on her phone, you know.
Yeah. If I leave, I toss my phone into my room and never look back.
I don't know what.
What's the link?
Go on.
The link?
HTTPS www.twitch.tv/rapid reviews. Do you want me to put it in the chat for you? Because I will.
Twitch TV / rapid reviews, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Pedo reviews. I've added it in just in case you did need it. So if you do that, probably it should just come up on the chat. Nice. I've just noticed what you called the stream, Kylie. I mean, it would have been better. It would have been news with a side of Ciaran, but hey.
That would have worked. Dadgummit.
I think that is one of my best messages yet.
Okay.
Hey,
I had the stroke of genius.
Do you like horror PC ports and check notes? Stray cats. Nice.
I like that.
I'm not sure why that message hasn't linked the Twitch properly, but hey, I will just reply to it with the actual link so that people, for those people who are not wanting to enter it manually. I'm not going to call them.
I think the checks notes stray cats. I just think that's. Oh, I thought that was brilliant. I was so happy with that one.
I mean, if Chloe wasn't streaming at the moment, she probably would check in just to hear what we have to say about Stray. So you know.
Yeah.
She's
we'll
streaming right now. That's why Chloe's not here.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Sorry, I only heard half of that message.
but that's fine, because it might be the case that once she's done, she might raid.
That's true. I wish Chloe would stop by, but this
well, we'll see.
Going to be a loosey goosey, happy chappy podcast.
Yes. Whilst we're just having a little chit chat, I'm just going to do a quick test record in the background.
Does that mean I have to talk?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Talkie.
Obi-Wan sucks. There's something I'll tell you.
What?
Ooh. Ooh.
Why did you do
I'm interested
that?
to hear your thoughts. And Kylie, we didn't hear a word.
I say it sucks, but well.
Why did you spring that on me now?
Yeah, I'd say the first episode's 5 out of 10. Episode 3 was better, but I won't spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it. But yeah,
Don't you worry. I've been over the last day. I've been watching a lot of videos about Kenobi, and what I have heard sounds atrocious. And reaffirms the reason why I officially say that I am no longer a Star Wars fan. Because Disney have royally screwed it up.
It's not a problem with the actors, it's a problem with the writing.
Exactly, that's why Disney have royally screwed it up.
I will say that kind of across the board, series-wise, writing has gone down in the last, I'd say, 2 years.
Yep.
Arcane being the shining example of amazingness, but...
Speaking of Arcane...
When you say that, like, I think Stranger Things Season 4 is it's phenomenal.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there. Yeah. That's true.
Outstanding.
That's very true.
Speaking of Arcane...
Oh, sorry, Pete, yes?
Yeah, you know, listen. Oh no, I'm not recording. I can't address the listeners.
It's about
Anyone
a year I've been waiting for that now.
Anyone here would love, we don't want subscribers, we don't want followers. We really just want anyone in the world to give Pete their Netflix, just so this man can see Arcane. And
look, even my friend from work gave me a pirated way to watch Netflix show. He's come through more than you have.
I am not going to admit to things that will get me in trouble, but what I will say is that I might have found my old password. And all I want to say is that just don't... If that password was to get released to someone whose name starts with a P, we can't watch things at the same time. It's not allowed. So
really annoying.
A schedule will have to be made. Is a thing that happened this weekend.
I think you owe Pete at least a month.
Oh.
I think that's
nobody's
fair.
Wait. Nobody said anything about me. I was thinking of some guy called Pierre.
There you go. Yes, Pierre. So Pierre can't watch at the same
to
time
answer your question,
I watch.
Brent, to answer your question, it's probably going to be this week. We might have a few minor predictions for the showcase.
Yeah.
The Xbox showcase. I think ST spends a little too much time on the Russian stuff. My only complaint.
Wait, what?
Oh, Stranger Things.
Okay.
I can case you come from somebody that's like me. It's certainly not the weakest plotline, but all in all,
me, I thought season 3 wasn't very good.
I don't remember season 3.
Exactly. There you go.
1, but whenever I've seen them, I've really enjoyed them.
Yeah. Well, season
it's
3
basically
was
the one where they spent the vast majority in the fucking mall.
It was definitely the weakest of the 3.
Yeah.
Which that's still not saying, that it's like don't watch it or something. No, definitely don't watch it.
So that's basically what's put me off and not like being well excited about Stranger Things 4. Also, the inconsistent episode lengths is a bit jarring to me. I don't know why I'm still test recording.
Yeah. Are we good to go then?
Let me just. That was running for like 4 minutes. I forgot that I was even doing that. Look, nobody named Pierre is on this stream. You were just talking hypothetically about some guy named Pierre you might or might not share a Netflix password with.
I never said
hypothetically.
I would share it. I said that I might accidentally release it somewhere. That's what I said.
Suddenly starts Googling BitTorrent.
Look. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Halo.
Like I said, my friend, a friend from work even came through with a potentially not legal method for me to go and watch Arcane.
Oh, goodness. That's silly.
But I don't endorse it on a live stream on Twitch.
No.
Don't do it, kids.
I can't endorse sailing the high seas ever, unless you actually own something.
Like Sea of Thieves.
Yes. Don't be a pirate.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about an intricate, decent session on Sea of Thieves.
Ooh, Nana, you would like it anyway. Mm-hmm.
You should.
I want to watch it. I really do.
If only you're Pierre.
It's been a year.
Yeah.
I'm literally sitting here. I'm going to be withered soon enough. I am going to be the walking epitome of that. It's been 84 years meme soon enough.
So, oh gosh, I've been using that meme a lot.
I mean, that's
Private
my
chats.
life. Hang on.
But yes, Nana, you should watch it. All joking aside, it's probably one of the best things I've seen in a long time.
What's this? I can't see chat.
Oh,
'cause I'm not
Arcane.
on.
Arcane.
Yeah, no, Arcane and Westworld are.
Westworld is really good
Jeez.
too.
Well, Westworld season 1 and 2. I wouldn't bother watching season 3 of Westworld.
Right. Okay.
I wouldn't bother with season 3. But season 1 and 2 of Westworld are just.
Yeah.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
I had heard that for season 3 sort of goes off the deep end.
It's because the writers that wrote seasons
Mhm.
1 and 2 are no longer writing the show because they are now writing the Fallout series for Amazon.
Oh yes.
Which gives me a lot of hope
This
for the Fallout series.
I mean, I hope so because,
So-
believe
Yeah.
it or not, Fallout 4 and Westworld actually have a lot of parallels. They even have some Westworld Easter eggs in them. So,
Yeah.
Nice.
But
So
party.
I'm trying to remember. Was it
We should start.
was it Jonathan Nolan who executive produced Westworld? Wasn't it?
I don't know.
That's beyond my knowledge.
Can't think of.
I'm just gonna have to go and check this because my knowledge is.
I'm sorry, audience. Pierre has to check his sources.
There's nobody named Pierre on this stream. Only Pete.
There is only Pete. Ah,
And then we shall get this show on the road.
yes,
we
you need
shall.
to.
Yeah.
Because you know, audience, you want to hear these people's opinions on games that are going to be released. That's why
It was
you're
actually
here.
created by part created by Jonathan Nolan.
I don't know who that is.
Christopher Nolan's brother, who
Oh.
also wrote The Dark Knight.
Overrated.
Eh.
Anyway, Pete. Wow, can you hear my chair squeaking? I'm very distracted today. Sorry.
Only a little when you decide to rock from side to side,
Yeah,
which is
it's-
not normal for you. I mean, I say not normal, but it might
No,
be.
normally I spin like this, so you can't hear me.
You
But
spin
anyway,
me right around.
I'm very easily distracted today, so that's actually good. That
Today?
Kieran's here. Well,
Today?
Ciaran keeps us running.
He keeps us on the straight and narrow, which is surprising considering last week we stayed on the straight and narrow for the vast majority.
Did we though? I was really drunk last week.
Oh, I know you was.
I was like,
I had to
really
listen back to that. I could tell it was getting as you
I
getting
was
on
like-
and on. It was like, oh dear.
Like the voice in my head was like, "Speak slowly, Kelly, and make sure you're enunciating every word."
So just before we get started,
Mhm.
Brent put, I still like the original Michael Crichton Westworld movie, aka Terminator Zero.
I've never seen the movie. I know there's a movie from the 60s, but I've never seen a Michael Crichton movie. Oh, wait. Are you talking about the original Terminator?
I assume he's talking about the original Westworld.
I'm very confused, Brent, but that is not difficult. I'm easily confused and distracted.
I mean, all I need to do is say hello, and she's confused.
Yes.
She's like, "Who's this? The human's talking to me."
All right.
Right.
I think it's
Okay.
time to
So
start. Even
I
though
know,
we're
I'm
not
just
starting
about-
on we are starting on an even number, so that makes it a bit better. But I'd rather
Fine.
start at 5. But that's
It's fine. Okay. So I'm recording new. So
Wait, we're on episode 124.
for 124. So, Mr. Ciaran, are you ready?
Yeah, he's.
Yes. All right. We're gonna start in tres, unos.
It's not
Exact-
Trace Unos.
Exactly. I know.
You
Look,
did
I
that
screwed up there.
before.
All right. I screwed up there. All right. Okay. 3, 2.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 124 or 124 if you're keeping count. I am your co-host, Kylie Wilde, and I am joined by two of my mostly ever-present, well, one's ever-present and one's semi-present co-hosts.
I'd say more ephemeral.
That's the word I was looking for. Oh my gosh, Ciaran. You just ripped it out of my skull. I couldn't find it. Okay. One ghost-like co-host. So we have Pete.
Yo.
And Ciaran.
Hi, folks.
I was gonna say, can we remember that it's an audio format?
They just like adding the delay. That's all I
Fair
can
enough.
say. Ooh.
I was trying to think something because Pete's was very little, so it's like, sup, you know. No, I wish I'd done that now. I really wish I'd done that.
Excuse me, you gave it the wrong way. I gave the peace sign, not the screw you.
I wasn't really thinking about it, to be fair. I don't think about what I show because the audio listeners can't see what I'm doing. They can only hear what I'm doing, and I care about them. Because this is a podcast, and we love our listeners.
However,
sometimes, well,
what you don't know is now that we've switched to a new provider, video podcasts are actually a thing. So they might start coming to Spotify soon.
That might happen. Might.
So yeah.
But for now, Ciaran
an eye
is
out.
your champion, audio listeners. While the rest of you can join us at twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. But yeah, so today's episode is going to be mostly about predictions and the Sony State of Play. I was like State of Decay, which, let's be honest,
Not quite.
That fits. No, that fits. But anyway.
Oh, it actually kind of does. I'll give you that one.
But I'm going to start how I always start, by asking these two lovely gentlemen how their week went. Pete, how?
No, we're going to go with Mr. Ciaran McGinn because he hasn't been here for a while.
All right.
Pete,
He's
I'm
got a lot more to catch up on.
I told you I'm hiding from the government, and you named me in full. Terrible. Oh well. Oh, folks, I'm going to disappear soon. But that being said, my week was great.
Disappear or be disappeared?
I will find out. But yeah, no, my week's been okay. I had to go pick up a suit for a busy week. I've got the end of the month. I've got a graduation ball. Got my graduation at the end of the month. And I've got a wedding and like whatever. So I was picking up a suit for that. I'm glad that I don't like wearing suits.
Is it a rented suit?
No, it's a purchased one.
Oh, good. Okay, I was going to say, because rented suits and alcohol don't mix very well.
Yes.
Suits are hot. Everyone should wear a suit.
No.
Unless you're me, you look terrible in a suit.
Any man looks good in a suit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I look, damn fine, but I don't like wearing suits at all. I really don't.
I'm with you there. The old top button up, tie on. Ugh.
Yeah,
no
it's
thanks.
just uncomfortable, you know.
Got
But anyway,
my bag, shorts and t-shirt all the way, mate. If I could go to a wedding like that, I'd be cool.
go in like cargo shorts, a t-shirt.
I'll tell you what, right? If the day I get married, mate, that is what I'm doing. I'm just like, if I'm not comfortable at my own wedding, that's it. See you later.
Rachel's not letting that happen.
And then,
she's already agreed to an evening, so win.
And then I went to go see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, tell me about this, because I've heard disparaging things from various different people.
I really want to see that.
A genuine stroke of creative genius.
Ooh.
I do not say that lately. Like it's not like it's not as if like if it's like Arcane and like Westworld. I wouldn't say it's like the writing. It wasn't the thing that the writing's good. The writing's really good, but it's just everything about it. It's like a jack of all trades, in such a good way. The writing's great. The action sequences are some of the best well choreographed action sequences I've ever seen in a long time. Like so fun. And then, but in general, the actual premise and concept itself, I have no idea how anyone can come up with something as absurd as it is, but they can make it work. It's like without saying much, there's so many absolutely bonkers stuff in the film that makes absolutely no sense, like something someone make up if they were high or on the brink of death.
Oh gosh.
And they're all just slotted together, but they all work. You don't look at it and think this movie's so stupid. Like, in a bad way, you think it's stupid, but yet somehow it works. It pulls off. But like, I could go on, but generally, if you want to see what will no doubt win an Oscar and probably should win Best Oscar, I bet Best Picture. That's it. Best Picture. At the Oscars, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
There's nothing quite like it.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
with that, I'm gonna go and see it on Saturday then, because
very-
I want to go and watch it because the disparaging thing that I heard was from my Never Watchers co-host Kurt, who said that he didn't enjoy it. But I'm gonna give you.
Yeah, I don't know
I was
how you
gonna say.
can. I don't know
I
how
was
you
gonna
can.
say I'll give you a small spoiler for the Never Watchers. He liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
All right, Pete. Well, that explains he's clearly got bad taste. He's clearly got bad taste. Then it's fine.
No, he's over in America for a couple of weeks. He won't hear this, so it's
Oh,
fine.
It's okay.
Well, Pete,
So-
that brings us to you, Pete. How has your week been?
There is no Pete. There is no Pierre. Only P-Dog.
Oh no.
That's sounded terrible. You can probably tell I'm running on the most little amount of sleep I've probably had in a long time.
Why is that?
So
Pete?
this week, that is hugely distracting. There's a reason to watch the
There
video
you go.
version.
Did you see it though? Did you see it?
Of course I did.
I didn't think
I
I did. I thought I was going to embarrass myself. Like,
Kieran, I'm gonna have to tell you. I have to tell you something about this podcast, right? And you'll appreciate this as someone who is religiously inclined, let's say. In terms of this podcast, I am God. I see all, I hear all, and I know all. I said in terms of this podcast.
So you did think that was very dope.
Oh, it was the dopest thing I think I've ever seen on a live stream.
Again, I thought I was going to miss it, but hey, well, let's move on because
Mate,
For our audio
you
listeners,
absolutely nailed that, mate. Nailed it.
Apologize to our audio listeners. Your champion, he's abandoned you.
Okay. But your Lord and Savior has not. So I've been cat sitting for the weekend, and I've probably had about 2 to 3 hours sleep a night because I've been getting up at 4:45 because of that little guy. So lovely cat, really nice cat, pain in the butt, but hey,
I think
nice weekend spent.
It needs to be stated that Pete is a cat guy. Like, that's his choice of.
I
don't
love
know.
cats, but this made me seriously debate whether or not I want a cat of my own.
Oh goodness.
So the discussion was had with Rachel, but it was a very nice weekend spent with Rachel, so I cannot complain at that. So,
That's very
but let's get into brass tacks, shall we? Because I played Mario Strikers whilst I was there, whilst the first kick demo, let's call it. What to say about Mario Strikers?
good.
It's
a
good.
podcast. You have to say something.
not enough
No,
microtransactions.
No, there's no microtransactions, so thank goodness it's not FIFA. The netcode seems okay at the moment. Obviously, it's being stress test, so I have to see what it looks like in action. I did have a couple of stuttery moments, but that might be as a result of other people's connections. Who knows? Because I wasn't on my own, I'm not sure if it was my own either. So, but it seems okay. It's chaotic, let's say, and I think the pitch might be a bit too small, but it's good fun. Really good fun, in fact. I'm just worried about the content in the full game because the Mario sports games on the Switch has been kind of content light for a while until DLC's added. So I'm just concerned by that.
Realistically, how much can you do with football?
Oh, a lot. They've done a lot with this. So they've made it so that it's like you can have it 4-on-4 online as well, which is quite a nice thing. So you can actually set up leagues, teams, kind of like what you do with like pro clubs on FIFA.
Yeah.
So you can, I think you can have up to 20 people per club. So you can like change your roster around all the time, which is kind of cool. Didn't get a hint of that obviously in the demo because that's going to be a full game thing.
Okay.
I think for the demo you could only do 2-on-2 at max, maybe 4-on-4 if you had one other person on your Switch console playing online with you as well.
Yeah.
But it seems really good. The actual mechanics of the football is actually really, really decent. They've taken it back to basically what the GameCube version was like, and I'm all in for that because the GameCube version was amazing. It's difficult as well. It's quite hard to score. That sounds like my life.
No,
I'm
you
with you,
don't get
brother.
to say that. You don't get to say that. I get to say
Okay,
that.
that sounds like my life 10 years ago.
Okay.
I am Pete from the past.
So am I. So
I wish.
I'm
No,
Pierre.
I wish I looked as good as you at 21 years old.
you see at 21, like at 21, like I just started degrading. So, oh, you look so good for 21.
Look, that's when it all just went downhill for me, my friend.
Ah.
That's when I started working long hours in a pub. It's
Oh,
done.
Oh dear.
So, but yeah, Kylie, go on. How's your week been?
I've actually forgotten everything I was going to say, which is pretty on the nose.
So basically, you've been incredibly distracted by mine and Kieran's rekindling bromance.
Yes, I love to watch.
Save your Kindles like it ever burned out, Pete.
Distance has made the heart grow fonder, my friend.
Yeah. When I sleep, I do not weep, Pete, for I see the embers burn in the horizon.
Oh my God.
The fire rises.
The fire rises.
Oh, I've missed this.
We do love the Dark Knight Rises here.
Yes,
We do,
I very much
for
do.
some reason.
Better than the Dark Knight, but anyway, let's move on.
Yes.
So Kylie, do you remember what you did this week?
I know I played Halo at some point with you two. And
Yeah, that's on Sunday.
That's probably the highlight.
Okay, so yeah, that
of
was
my
like a
week.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was probably the highlight of my week. And I got a car and I found birds, baby birds. And
Oh yeah, you did. That was kind of cool.
I failed my driving test again. Which
Oh.
for our US listeners, I have to explain just a little tiny thing and then we'll move on, obviously.
She was driving on the American side of the road.
Yes. No.
Okay, go on. Yeah, I've got something I want to say about this, but you carry on.
Okay. Well, for Americans, look, we hop in the car, we drive down to the DMV, we take a test, takes 10 minutes, and you pass. That's exactly what I did. I bought a car off a lot for cash, drove it over to the DMV, passed, and Bob's your uncle, and I had a 10-year license. Woo! So I moved over here to the UK, and my license only lasted a year. So I had to get a new license over here in the UK. Okay, so UK driving tests are very, very different.
Intense.
Very intense, very different. First of all, you have to test in a stick shift or you only get a partial license. Stick shift's fine, it's just annoying and
Just for those UK listeners, that's called manual.
Yeah, whatever. And
I
obviously,
prefer manual. Personally.
But I only drive automatics. Like totally. So anyway, so I tried to pass the stick, didn't work. Just didn't work. I was revving too hard, which is a thing. US listeners, I'm trying to make you understand. Revving too hard is a thing. And you can only
'cause
have...
it ruins the life of your engine.
Who cares? What does that have to do with passing a driving test? See, this is what I'm saying. This is the
Because
difference.
over revving your engine will cause irreparable damage, and an engine is the most expensive thing
Yes.
to actually replace in a car, meaning it's an automatic write-off half the time in terms of insurance.
But in America, nobody cares what you do. It's a very, it's an individualistic
But then again,
society.
But you also don't have roundabouts.
No, we don't have roundabouts.
But they do allow people to carry guns, Pete. I mean,
exactly.
if that's allowed. Oh.
I mean, look, you can see how the testing is different just on that. alone.
Yeah, basically you walk up to the DMV with a shotgun and there you go.
Oh
instant
yeah,
pass.
they're like, oh, that's cool. Also, here's your license. Whereas here you only get 15 mistakes. Now, Northern Ireland is different than the rest of the UK, so anything I say might only apply to Northern Ireland.
It's very
Yeah.
similar actually though in that respect.
Okay.
15 minors, like
Yeah,
you
I
can
was
get.
going to say, but if you get a major, like,
Oh, yeah,
if you get a major, you're done.
You're done.
One major mistake, you're out.
I ended up on my first test getting 5 over revs, which they counted as a major, so instant fail. Revs. And then so on the second test, okay, here we go, U.S. listeners. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. The guy said, "You're a wonderful driver. Your driving is excellent. You're a safe driver. You're wonderful," and everything like that. I got marked off. I got 8 points deducted because I looked in my mirror in the wrong order. The wrong order. Because you have to look at rear view, passenger, do your turn, back to passenger. I looked at it, passenger, rear view, passenger. I got marked off for that. This is not a joke. This is the UK, well, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Driving test. And I got 8 points off of that. If I had not lost that, I would have been fine. Would have passed. So, and then what?
But what you told me is that you were lucky to not even get a major.
Okay, Okay, now this is me. Okay. I did, in fact, leave the driving center, and he says, pull up on the left whenever you feel comfortable. And I immediately hit a curb. And my driving instructor was in the back. And he was like, oh God, he's fucked. Oh, sorry, Pete. You had to mark that out. Sorry. But anyway.
Shocking.
Yeah, so I hit a curb before any maneuvers started. I hit a curb. But yeah, anyway, all of that to say, I still haven't passed my driving test. I own a beautiful car that I can't drive. And as Britt says, sounds like I wouldn't even qualify for a license in the UK. I'm going to be honest. I would say 75% of Americans would not qualify for a UK driving license.
Half the stuff you need to do in a driving test you don't do after. I know for a fact 'cause I don't do it. Like I remember whenever you take off from a curb, it's look at the right, look out front, look up, look at that,
and then
look
look in the middle.
Well.
Yep.
And then you go.
That's it.
And you have to do it every time.
Every time.
I failed
Nobody ever does though.
I failed my first test because I hit a curb.
I don't feel alone anymore.
But like, I was turning and it was like a really wide corner. So I thought I was missing it, and I just had the back wheel hit off it, and then I went. Oh. And it's like midway through, so I started to do the rest of the test, knowing I'd failed. So we got there, and then we stopped. I drove and I parked fine, and I'm sitting there, and he's like, "Right," and I'm like, "Yep." And he's like, "You don't even need to say it."
Yep, I thought for sure.
I did think I thought like midway through my second test that I'd failed, but then I got there and he's like, "Oh, well, you've passed." I'm like,
what was it you thought that you'd failed on though?
What was it? Yeah, I think my second test. He told me to stop somewhere, so I stopped. I parked in a place quite nice. I think it was a parallel park. It was a really good parallel park. But he's like, "That's a good park, but you've parked at a junction." And I looked to my right, and there's a bit of cars come through, and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't see that." And he didn't fail me for it. He didn't fail me for it. But yeah.
Oh, that's very lucky. But yeah.
That's
also,
good to hear, Brent.
One last thing, and the difference between the US and the UK driving and stuff is the UK uses parking spaces that are like rectangles. They're very equal, stuff like that. And the US uses diagonal, which is far 100,000% easier. So one of the maneuvers you might have to do is called bay parking, and you have to reverse into a parking place, that's just not the US. That would never happen. We park at an angle, and holy crap, the math that is required to try and figure out how to back into a parking place it's ridiculous.
But at the same time, you guys, just get handed a license over there.
Yeah, we do.
It needs to be easier for you.
Okay, so one of my friends asked me. She said, one of my friends over in the U.S. She was like, "Okay, but how are the accident rates and stuff like that?" And it was like, there's way less accidents here, and not only are there less accidents, there's less fatal accidents. So I can't really I can moan, but there's less people dying on the road.
Yeah, but that's also because it's I think it's an automatic 6 points if you get stopped without a seatbelt on.
Probably wouldn't surprise me. It feels like for an
Between 3 and 6.
For an American, it feels oppressive, yes, when you first get here because you're so used to just doing whatever you want. But honestly, if you look at the facts and if you look at the numbers, there are less wrecks and there are less fatalities. So all in all, I gotta say the UK system wins, even if it's annoying me and I still haven't passed and I have a car I can't drive. But
that's because it teaches you the important skills of roundabouts.
Don't even get me started on roundabouts. We'll do a driving podcast. No, okay, one very quick thing, and then we are so moving on, because I'm so sorry, but I cannot help this. This is, as an American, I cannot, I'm getting it for the test, but I can't grasp it. So a roundabout is what we do. We usually do a 4-way stop in the U.S. For a roundabout, it goes in a circle. So you approach the roundabout, and there is a lane that goes to the left or straight, and there's a lane that has a right arrow. So I pull up, and the driver instructor's like, turn on your right blinker or indicator, because they don't say blinker. So I flip on the right indicator, and then I'm like, am I supposed to go right? And he's like, what is wrong with you? You told me to go right. He's like, no, you have to go around the roundabout right. And there's something about that is so illogical to my robot brain that I just am like, I'm actually going left, but I'm indicating right. So that right there tells you US people always ask me, how can I go live in the UK? How can I move over there? The US is a disaster. Just give me information. Tell me how I can move where you are. That's fine and all. But once you get here, you're going to have to learn how to drive. And it's going to take you about 10 years. So just keep that in mind.
You come over here, see the roundabouts, and then wonder what kind of plane of hell you've landed on.
That's it. I'm going back to America.
Yeah. God forbid you go around a circle.
Yeah. Only one way. Only one way you can go around the circle. You can't go the other way.
Had it not been so much time, I would have started doing the Top Gear announcer voice and said, tonight on the show. But no, let's move on.
You know what circles remind me of, actually, Pete? Circles remind me of, Circle on the PlayStation controller. Speaking of which, oh my god.
You mean?
It was like, oh yeah, PlayStation State of Play.
That is a brilliant segue.
Do you mean circle like confirm and X is cross?
But
cancel.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant segue, which I will probably end up driving instead of a car into our next segue.
Ruin the segue. Yeah, you might as well just get a segue at this point, because it's the only way you're going to actually transition into something.
You know, actually, that's what reminds me. I use a segue in Fortnite to go around the map, and Fortnite's actually on PlayStation. Hold on a minute. Did PlayStation?
He's trying to tell us something here.
State of Play this week.
So as these,
what is it, boy? Has Timmy fallen down the well?
As these two very handsome gentlemen.
Jim Ryan.
Oh gosh. Yes.
Poor Jim, he's down there.
Yes.
God love him, he's looking for another single player hit.
As these two very handsome gentlemen have referenced several times.
He's stuck.
Oh God, I'm
Could you imagine Jim Ryan in the well?
Jump down there.
Oh gosh. I believe this podcast has derailed.
I mean, he could get rescued by a certain Mr. Peter Parker.
He won't come up. We keep telling him, Jim, there's nothing down. He's like, no, there's a hit down here. I know it. There's a blockbuster game down here.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear, blockbuster. Woof. Woof. Anyway,
dear.
shall we talk about State of Play quickly?
We should talk about State of Play. I'm going to actually officially hand this over.
Anyway. Oh, did I play?
Uh-oh.
I'm back.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
Kieran cut out there
I
for a
think, I,
second.
think, I think Jim tried to DDoS me.
I am officially...
Yeah, that's what happens when you're using those Sony servers, you know.
Oh, goodness. I'm going to officially hand over the reins over to Pete, not Pierre,
Yes.
as he tells us what the show is actually about, not about
Because-
my driving skills.
Can I ask, was I the only one out of the three of us who actually watched this?
I watched highlights.
Live?
Yeah, I was
Probably.
going to say live.
No,
I
not
didn't watch
live.
it live.
I definitely didn't watch it live. Okay, well then I must ask a clarifying question then. Am I the only one that watched this twice then?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
God, why would you watch it twice? Do you hate
Because
yourself?
I watched it on Friday. I watched it on Friday morning at 5 a.m. So I needed to refresh my memory for the show.
Ugh.
To be fair, it wasn't that long, was it? Because it didn't have any
30
filler.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it didn't
wasn't.
have
Uh,
any filler, so it wasn't
But
that
there was a certain particular game in there that I did watch multiple times. So we'll talk about that in a bit more
Interesting.
detail later.
Well, Nana says that he not only watched it live, lol, he watched the trailers again. So you're not alone, Pete.
Okay. I will get back to that in a moment, Nana, once we start discussing this. So, just a couple of Brent just put he hasn't even watched it once, just a couple of trailers. So fair enough. But that's to be expected from Brent because he's more Xbox focused, let's say.
Pardon.
So, anyway, let's get into it. So, I'm not going to give my thoughts on it until the very end, but we're just going to go through the running order. And if there's anything that we want to discuss in a bit more detail, one of us will go, woo, let's talk. You know, not literally like that.
I was gonna say.
I was like Monsters Inc. Like,
Oh, Monsters Inc.
Look, in some communities, I might be considered a bear.
Oh, what?
you do prowl
Hey.
the forests of England. So,
Anyway, so this. Speaking of forests,
Do you remember that, Pete, when you were a bear?
yeah. Speaking of forests, Resident Evil 4 remake was officially announced.
we knew it was coming.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yes,
that's why I say
it's not too bad.
officially,
Yeah.
officially, because it's been on the cards for obviously about 2 years where it was leaked.
Oh gosh, I have to be good.
So, there was a trailer for this. They revealed that there is PSVR 2 content in development for this game, as well as the fact that it's due out on March 24th, 2023. So, I do want to discuss this very quickly because Resident Evil 4 is my favorite in the series.
Right.
I think that's
I
just a lot
don't-
of people. Yeah.
I don't know if I like this remake.
Okay.
What about it though?
For most people, they go, Resident Evil 4 was not scary. And I get that. But I don't think it was really intended to be scary. I think it was supposed to be an action-orientated
say.
B-movie fest.
That's where they.
And that's what I really love about the game, is the really terrible dialogue, the quippy one-liners from Leon, the brown scale effects on the screen, like the kind of tankish controls. I like that aspect. It plays into that game perfectly, and I think it makes it the perfect project. I don't know if I like the ultra realistic, like ultra serious vibe that they're giving from this. Graphically, it looks stunning, but that's because obviously the RE engine is quite a thing to be just like looked at and go, damn, that is a nice engine. But I'm not sure. I think I'm probably gonna have to agree with that. It'll be fine.
Mhm.
But I just love the original, so I want it to recapture some of that, but I just don't think it will.
I saw someone on Twitter say like, or anyone that like likes the look of new Resident Evil 4, you really don't need to wait for it to come out. You literally just go play the original.
Oh,
because
that was Gene Park. Gene Park is
Park,
awesome,
yes.
by the way.
I'm trying to remember who it was. Yeah, Gene Park basically said like, just play it anyway. Go play it anyway because
Because it's available on everything.
yeah. Like why wait when you can literally play the game now? You know.
Yeah, you can play it. You could even play it on GameCube, Wii, PS3, PS4, PS5, Xbox. Yeah, you get the point.
Yeah.
It's literally available on everything. So, Kylie, what did you think about this?
It's not my favorite of the RE series, but because I do hate the tank controls, which I'm mirroring exactly what Brent says, which is I'm quite excited for RE4. I really like the RE2 remake. Yes, I agree with that. And I hate the tank controls of RE4, so I am looking forward to experiencing the complete game for the first time. I'm going to agree with that because I hated the tank controls so much in RE4 that it distracted from the actual gameplay. For me, not for me.
That's fair, but I
Yeah.
think if it would have had full analog control, it would have made the game too easy.
Sometimes some of us like it easy.
Yeah, difficulty modes for that. It's probably what they're doing this one. They'll probably have a
Yeah,
difficulty
I was
they
going
mode
to
might
say
in
for
it.
difficulty modes.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree
Let's-
with you, Nana.
I'm not touching
I know
that.
that's
Not
a separate
touching
thing,
that.
but I agree with you, Nana.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would like to see all the I literally enjoyed the RE2 remake. I think that was just so well done.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I own it, and I haven't jumped on like finishing it because obviously they announced that the next gen fidelity patches would come in, so I'm sort of waiting for those to drop before playing it. So you get the next gen
Right.
versions basically of
Oh,
it.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
so I can just install it on PS5 and just play it with the next gen patch.
Right,
Or
I see.
current gen.
Yeah,
So.
that makes sense.
Right. So next up is this one sent the internet into an absolute storm again, and that is the return of our favourite Lady D in VR. So Resident Evil Village is getting a PSVR 2 update, and that means that you can literally probably see the big door lady step on you in first-person view with a headset on.
Look, representation. That's all. Representation matters. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Nothing more to say on that other than the fact that you're the only one out of the three of us who's played Village.
Oh yes. I enjoyed Village. Now, do I enjoy Village as much as the RE2 remake? No, I still enjoy the RE2 remake. I do like Village. The only problem with Village is it becomes repetitious.
Okay.
But outside of that, I think it's great. It really adds to the lore, which you know I'm obsessed with. And I think all of the mini bosses are all very fully realized characters. And the graphics are great. So this is gonna make you poop your pants in VR, PSVR.
Yeah, because that was the thing about Resident Evil 7 that everyone spoke about it because it was a feature obviously on day one. Like as soon as they had the first person aesthetic, you knew full well that they were gonna have a VR mode for it.
Yeah,
but
they also have the demo in VR as well, which is it's. If you I've said this a million times. I don't get scared in games. I wished I did. I want to. That one came close, probably as close as Alien Isolation, but for the average person, if you like horror, seeing this in PSVR, PSVR 2 you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, Brent's put in the chat, I was disappointed they announced Village VR, but not the promised DLC. I think that's coming. I think once they reveal more details of the PSVR 2 version, it'll probably include some stuff with the DLC.
Yeah.
Because I think they were probably waiting for PSVR 2 to come out before revealing the whole thing.
Which I'm kind of excited for, but as we've stated on the show many times, I know Pete and I both get sick in VR. Can't take it more than 10 minutes. But I do enjoy the 10 minutes I can play.
Look, what I might do is if I decide to own a PSVR 2, which is very unlikely, or if I borrow it off someone, which is probably more likely, I will just play Village up until the point where Lady D appears, put the VR headset on, and relive every fantasy that everyone on the internet has said, and then take it off. I'll be a happy man then. And that's my 10 minutes of VR.
I could say something, but
It's probably best not to.
yeah, this is gonna keep this PG. But I had some
Well,
like,
we'll leave that up to the interpretation of the audience to make their own
gosh.
conclusions about that one. And I cannot be forgiven for any horrible mental images I may have caused.
They're not horrible. Embrace
Right,
it.
next up. Sorry?
I said they're not horrible. Embrace it.
Anyway, continuing with a horror theme for a little bit, we had The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 announced for PSVR 2.
There's a lot of VR, which is very interesting.
Yeah,
well, we had a
VR
couple
for
more,
this
and
one.
then that was basically it.
but considering they didn't do any VR whatsoever in the last one, and everyone was like, "What?" Is
Yeah,
there
well,
even a
they
PSVR
had
type thing.
they did already announce that there was going to be a showcase on PSVR 2, like showing a couple of games. And yes, I acknowledge your comment, Brent. I acknowledge it. Anyway,
Sorry,
he said
for
no
our
kink
listeners.
shaming. I'm not shaming anyone.
Okay.
So, anyway, yeah, Walking Dead, uninterested because
No.
Walking Dead has been milked like a
Okay.
cow at this point.
Yes, 100%. Pete is correct. I did not even know that The Walking Dead was still on air. Holy crap! How have they drawn that out this long? But I have seen call me Kevin, Walking Dead VR episode. Holy effing crap! The idea of like zombies first person VR. There is something that is highly intriguing to me because that looks like it would actually scare the pants off of you. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
I have heard that Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 was actually a very, very good PSVR game, or general VR game.
As a watcher, now, again, ooh, I hit my mic, sorry. As
It's
a
the third
watcher, I can't, I can only speak as an observer, but that looked terrifying, like enough that I really wanted to try playing it because, holy crap, yeah, it's really well done.
If I could handle VR, I definitely would have played RE7 that way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah.
So, anyway, moving on to a very confusing announcement here for No Man's Sky.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
VR.
VR 2 update in development.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
Suit you, though. No Man's Sky.
So no, this is why it's confusing for me, right? Okay, so you remember that obviously Sony hyped up the original release of No Man's Sky back in 2016, maybe earlier than that.
Yeah.
And then basically threw them under the bus when it was a failure, let's say, in terms of sales and content and promises and all that. So they clearly have made good and gone, here you go, a showcase piece, on the state of play. Does that make things good for you now?
Look, they've come a long way.
Are we good?
No, I think No Man's Sky is exceptional.
Yeah, they've
Probably
really...
one of the greatest and most well-made sandbox games you can play.
I'm not knocking the quality of No Man's Sky at all. I'm more knocking Sony's ability to throw companies and people under the bus when they don't do so well.
They will do that.
Poor Sean Murray got a bad ride. And some of it was his own doing, to be fair.
Oh,
but Sony did monumentally throw him right under the bus. So it's a bit strange to see No Man's Sky's VR update on this showcase for a game that's 6 years old.
Yeah, but it's live service. It's like...
I know it is. I know.
Like
it's on everything at this point,
I still always talk about No Man's Sky in that the very first time it was revealed, I was like, this isn't going to work. This is a terrible... Why are you doing this? This is a terrible game. And it bombed. But then they did something that developers...
Never do.
I hate to say developers. Let me change that to publishers. Now that we've interviewed so many developers. Publishers never do. They listened. They took in the feedback, and they changed everything.
Yeah. Well, the thing...
became an amazing game.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, is they had a lot of feedback. I'm going to say feedback on this one rather than
Yes.
general criticism and hate.
I like feedback.
But-
I think it's a good word.
You know, the fact is they had a lot of feedback to the point that, you know, if they hadn't have implemented this, Hello Games would have been known as Goodbye Games.
Yes, that's true.
I did all of that for a terrible
I
joke.
know you
so
did.
I was gonna say,
I know you
how long
did.
do you have that one in reserve?
About 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, out of all of us, though, Ciaran is the regular player of No Man's Sky.
I enjoy it. It's fun. The last big update, Outlaws, was great. Like I really, like I think, like end of the day, it's a sandbox game where it is what you make of it. But
Mhm.
what's good is they keep adding new ways to do things.
Right.
You know, like before you could have pretended you're an outlaw, but now you can actually
Yeah.
be an outlaw, like selling illegal goods. Nazi gold being one of them, should you wish.
Nazi
Because
gold.
there's a whole alien race in the game that used to be fascists but aren't anymore. It's a whole thing, but you can sell ancient coins that they used to sell. So, but it's like, and also new ships, which new ships are so
Yeah.
gorgeous. But no, great game. Again, sandbox game, so it's what you make of it. So it's not for everyone, but like I think again the procedural generation. I'm adamant the fact that they're able to create an actual digital universe is incredible.
I think, like I said, the promise that I had for the game was incredible, and it got me excited about it, despite not being a fan of procedural generation. But
Yeah.
obviously, seeing the state that it released in put me off for a long while, and I probably should go and download this on Xbox because it probably would be my kind of thing.
It is really good. It's very good.
It's good. I don't know if it'd be your thing, but it is good.
Oh, it probably would be, because if I can get my teeth sunk into something that's actually genuinely good to play, then that's what I enjoy the most. So, anyway, let's move on, because we had a trailer for Horizon VR Call of the Mountain, which was the game that was first announced for the PSVR 2. This actually looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Like, I don't have anything.
No, I've got nothing further
to
to add to this.
Yeah.
I can't say I
think-
know much about the lore of Horizon. So
like, how much is PlayStation VR? How much is it? To
no,
get?
Just
what,
regular
VR
VR?
2?
Or I was gonna say PSVR only cost me 99 quid, but I don't know what the VR 2
That's
is gonna be.
actually decent.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like
It's probably about 100 to 150 now.
That's not bad.
yeah. I think though when it comes to VR, like I don't really care much for VR. Like I think it's a cool thing, but I don't know. I'll look at VR games and they don't make me think, oh, I really wish I had the VR headset.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know there's people that really enjoy VR. But I don't know. I don't hear much about people saying, "Oh, absolutely cannot wait for another VR game." You know,
Right.
I don't see it often. I don't know if that's just my bubble I'm in, but like,
No, I can't say I see that either.
I mean, Jonathan is the main VR guy for Rapid Reviews, but outside of that, like, if I'm honest, I would be happy to have a VR game where I can just sit on the beach.
I mean, look, I think I know your perfect VR game here, Kylie.
Oh, you don't, but go ahead.
No, I do. If Lawnmower Simulator had a VR mode, or Power Wash Simulator had a VR mode.
I do that. I go out and do that anyway. But I do think Power Wash Simulator should have a VR
But
mode.
but you could spend your day power washing for real, and then your evening power washing virtually.
There you go.
but Pete, right? Think about it like this: you can do all that in VR, or do it in real life, and also have the added benefit of being able to touch grass.
Exactly.
No way, no. Look, we're all pro gamers here. We don't touch grass.
I touch grass almost every day.
Look, if you've seen the amount of steps that I've done this week, then you know I've touched a lot of grass.
Oh, this is true. Pete did call me with that. All his steps.
Pete does indeed graze the fields of England.
No, I'm not.
I'm
not joking, right? No, I'm not joking, right? I actually looked at the step counter the other day when I was talking to you, Kylie, because I'd done 2 walks that day. I'd done a half marathon.
That's crazy to me.
Gracious.
That's crazy.
That was good.
That's
no
great.
wonder I'm so knackered.
Next time you see Pete in this podcast, he'll be absolutely ripped. He'll be like, He'll be like the next
Look.
Chris Pratt.
Look,
He'll be voicing the next Mario.
there is a reason why it's only my top half, because my chunky ass legs will take up all of the screen.
Oh, leg day.
Yeah, I don't skip leg day. I just skip every other day.
What were we talking about?
Anyway.
I don't know how we got to that.
So next up, we had a major update revealed for Horizon Forbidden West, which was launched right there and then, where they added a new game plus option with the ability to re-roll stats, as well as what they called ultra hard difficulty mode. So those are the ones for the Soulsborne fans, where they can tell every other Horizon fan to get good.
Get good, scrub.
Yes, very good. See, I'm still waiting for the day that Assassin's Creed Valhalla gets its new game plus.
Yeah.
By the time that happens, the next Assassin's Creed will probably come out.
But no, didn't they release Origins? Didn't they do an update? Is that in our thing?
No,
That's the
FPS.
performance and fidelity update. I think they did for
right.
that.
It's the FPS for Origins, because Odyssey got it a while back, and now Origins has got it. It's really good. Very good trilogy.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Origins always came out of nobody knew it was going to do as well as it did. I was writing for a different publication at the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, so next up we had a little bit of the fruits of the labours in terms of the acquisition by Sony from Nixxes, in the fact that they're collaborating with Insomniac to bring Spider-Man Remastered to the PC, and that is due to be released on August 12th.
Yeah.
But there was one tidbit that wasn't included within the showcase. Later on this year, Miles Morales is also coming to PC.
That's good.
So those PC players will be able to experience it all before Spider-Man 2 comes out to PC in about 5 years' time.
I might just get Spider-Man PC. I like that was the one game that like I saw on PlayStation. I was like, I wish I had a PlayStation to play this.
Look, if I didn't already own it for PlayStation, I probably would own it on PC.
I cannot wait to see the mods. You know I love the modding community. Shout out to the modding community. I cannot wait to see the mods for this. I'm gonna watch so many mod videos.
Oh, same here. I just want some classic costumes, like some ones that weren't already included in the game, of course.
Boring.
I don't care. I don't care.
Nana says,
I don't want the mod for Black Cat to be naked, alright? That's not the one I'm looking for.
What's wrong with that?
Well, each to their own, I guess.
Exactly.
I'm really outing myself as a terrible pervert this episode, aren't I?
No, they're the opposite of a pervert in this episode. Okay, good. I wanted that one to come to PC, is what Nana has said.
Yeah.
Nana says, I want to get it because I have a feeling that a lot of other shows should do that because it would sell. Do you mean movie tie-ins? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I would love to talk about movie tie-ins. We should do an episode on that.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of dead these days, but hey, let's go.
Well, that's
you know,
what I'm saying.
the old licensed games
yeah.
that we used to get. Oh, God. Anyway,
King
next
Kong
up
was great.
Oh,
Sorry?
gosh. Oh.
Let's not talk about that one.
Oh.
Because it's too good.
Oh, gosh.
Moving on.
Oh, dear.
We need to move on. So next up, we had the trailer for Stray, which was announced obviously in the PlayStation Showcase back a long time ago. It's coming to PlayStation 5 on July the 19th. They also stated that it's going to be free for anyone on the PS Plus Extra and Premium tiers.
Now, Pete, as a cat, yeah, exactly. As a cat guy, what do you think? I know, like, Chloe of Rapid Reviews is very excited for this.
I'm going to reiterate my point that I said in there. I've still got no damn clue what this game is even going to be like. Like, I know it's cyberpunk. I know it's a bit mysterious. It's like an action platformery sort of thing.
You play a cat, you walk
with
around,
a backpack,
and it's cute. Okay? That's what we're doing, and that's why it's good, and that's why we'll buy it.
or not buy it if you're a PS Plus
Right.
Extra or Premium tier subscriber.
But in all seriousness, from what I've seen, like, 'cause I too have no clue what this thing's about. I just know you play as a cat and with a
Yeah.
backpack, and also I
Yeah.
learned that it's like somewhat post-apocalyptic, like there's robots and stuff.
That's for my
Yeah.
understanding.
That's what I mean. It's cyberpunky. It's sort of like an action adventure sort of game with a bit of
Yeah.
platforming. It's very dystopian future, but I just need to know more, and I'll be curious to see it because I'm not sure, obviously, because I'm not going to upgrade my
I
my
don't
PS
think-
Plus.
Yeah, I don't think a developer will have any worries about it selling. If you ask, if you ask me, I don't think they should have any
No.
not selling.
Oh, they won't, because there's a lot of cat fanatics out there who'll just purchase this day one.
Especially among the gaming community. Gaming community, I'd say are cat people more than dog people. From what I've observed.
Oh yeah,
I
most
would say
people
so
are-
as well.
Yeah,
I'm a dog
so-
person, but I think most everyone's a cat person around me.
Yeah. I mean, aesthetically, it looks amazing.
It does.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I think
graphically,
visually-
it looks incredible.
Very
So
good.
I'd be interested to see it for that. I just want to know what the mystery is, and that's kind of the thing that's sort of like, I know that's the point, but it's been mysterious for 2 years. I want to know more. I just want to know more.
Who is this cat? What are they doing here? Why are we a cat? Why the cat? Whose backpack is that? Why are they?
Is the cat called Stray?
And above all else, what on earth are we actually going to be doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Peeing on things
Anyway.
and marking our territory.
I'd do that anyway.
Look, if there's not a section to scratch furniture, then it's not a buy. I will not buy it.
Yeah, it should be like- There should be like a
Oh, that would be amazing.
there should be a mechanic where you just like button mash to like kind of hawk up a hairball.
I'm liking Kylie's idea where there should be an actual like catnip section. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to something a little bit more intense. And by intense, I mean horrifically intense. The Callisto Protocol, and I know Ciaran is
Yes.
well excited to talk about this. So, releasing 2nd of December, all I'm going to say on this one, this looks amazing. As someone who's not played Dead Space, this looks incredible. But the aesthetic feels very Dead Space, and it is very noticeable that they were the original creators.
They are not trying to hide it, and I think
No.
it's brilliant.
Yes.
Like it quite literally is the spiritual successor to Dead Space we've needed for years. Like, it's been years after Dead Space 3 came out, and I don't think Dead Space 3 was that bad. Fair enough, it wasn't scary. It wasn't as much a horror thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dead Space 3's DLC that effectively just ended, like killed it. But it was a very good DLC that it really made up for the abundance of action in the main game. But I've missed Dead Space. I remember playing Dead Space 2 on my PC like years after like I played it the first time round. I think it was a couple of years back I played Dead Space 2 again, completed it.
Yeah.
And oh, what a game! I just missed Dead Space so much because I don't know what it was. It was like it was one of the first ever horror games I ever played, and I was like really young when that game came out. I remember I played it was the demo. I had an official Xbox magazine demo disc.
Oh, nice.
And it had Dead Space 2 in it, so obviously I'm like, oh, I'll try this out. It looks really cool. This guy's mask looks really sick. And I turned it on. It's like it's a bit in the game where you go into like the cryo storage. Kind of, it's like essentially like a morgue. It's like cryopods, and you go down, and then wherever way you go, there'll be necromorphs busting out the pods at you, and you also have your visions because in the game Isaac's a bit off his rocker. So you have some visions and stuff as well. But every time anything would happen, I'd pause the game and just like leave it for 5 minutes and come back. But yeah, I still wanted to play it, and it was the fact with Dead Space 2, the plot, it married plot and horror so well that it was the first time. It's what I believe a horror game should be in the gaming space. Like what horror should be in the gaming space. Like you look at, I remember I grew up with like Alien and stuff. You know, I probably shouldn't have seen Alien with the age I did, but I saw Alien and stuff, and I liked the horror concept.
Yeah.
But I think with games, it made it well where it had the action, so you knew you're playing a game. It felt fun. Like at its heart was the gameplay and stuff, but then it was also telling a horror story.
Yeah.
At the same time. fair enough. You can talk about jump scares all you want, but like Dead Space 1, I still can't finish today. I can't get through it.
No, I said last year, and one of us said last year that we were going to do that as a horror stream for October.
Right.
I think I'm definitely going to have to do it this year before Callisto Protocol comes out.
Yeah, the Callisto Protocol, that trailer, I think it's really good that it was a gameplay trailer as well.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's really
It
good.
looks
It wasn't
really
just
good.
a like cinematic thing. Cinematic was really good though. That cinematic,
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, "Whoa." But the gameplay looks. I mean, we know for a fact that we are getting a full-length gameplay demo at Summer Games Fest opening night on Thursday.
Oh, nice.
So it's
I'm
naturally a
excited to
proper
see a bit more of that.
demo, yeah, which is really good. I'm looking forward to that. But again, like what this trailer does is it's doing the exact same as Dead Space, where it shows you the horror, it shows you the grotesque, kind of semi-zombie people that you'll fight, and also it sets up the atmosphere. But then at the same time, it's raising a lot of questions. Like you see a robot killing guys. Like, why is this robot doing that? Why are you in this prison in the first place? It's raising a lot of questions.
Right.
There's actual narrative significance here. You know?
Yes.
So, I mean, right? Yeah, no offense to the people remaking Dead Space, but there's no need to remake Dead Space when they really could just brought this team back on
Right.
and made
They should
this.
have done.
Because I genuinely think Callisto Protocol, it should do better than a Dead Space
Oh,
remake.
definitely.
Fair play if Dead Space remake's good. Fair play it. It's an old game, but I still think Dead Space is still playable today without a remake.
Now, just a quick question, because it's been brought up by Brent in the chat. He said he's excited about Callisto Protocol, followed by Dead Space remake weeks later. Do you think the release date for the Callisto Protocol was done on purpose?
I think it would have been more deliberate if it was January. If it was, I think it needed to be closer for me to say. Let's try to undercut that there.
Okay, fair enough.
That. Like I think if you're trying to undercut something, you're going to release it either before or after. I think it's more of a ballsy move if it's after, because no, I don't think so. I think if you really want to undercut a competitor, you're going to release your product after, because if there's more hype for yours, then
Sure.
you're going to outsell them, and people will be you take emphasis away from them.
Sure.
But I think at the same time they're letting it shine. They're allowing time for Dead Space to have its own time in the limelight.
Of course.
But I saw something today as well. It's like the Callisto Protocol is set to have DLC as well. I believe the pre-order. Someone said they noticed in the pre-order there'll be a season pass you can buy.
No surprises there. It seems like the par for the course for nearly every game these days.
But
I'm okay with that.
but I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
But no, I saw a trailer. I didn't watch it live. I woke up like the next day and I saw, wait, they showed the Callisto Protocol. I was like, oh, I have to watch this, and blew me away.
One of the reasons why I watched the showcase twice, because I did want to watch this again.
Yeah, I mean, like, just like, I'll say bias aside, like, even just like on a fundamental level, it looks gorgeous. Like that shot of like the main character, and you've got the sweat dripping. It's usually the sweat's always the one they show to like say, well, look at the detail we've got here. But
for me, it was that moment where the guy's frozen to the wall, like he appears to be dead, and then the eyes just pop open. It was like, whoa, okay.
I just want to know what's going on, but I'm really looking forward to the gameplay demo on Thursday. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping that when the gameplay demo comes around, it will get more people talking about it. Not like it's not getting talked about. I think it is. I think on Twitter you see like it got a lot of likes, like the trailer and stuff, and on YouTube as well, a lot of views and stuff. But like compared to what else was shown, I think we'll get onto the ones that probably people are talking about more on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
But
so
there's all the usual suspects that took attention away from it. I feel.
Yeah.
For that audience.
Yes. Which I'll get to in a bit.
Yep.
So, next up we had, unless Kiley, you've got any more you want to add about Callisto?
No, I can't wait for it. Is really where I'm at.
I just noticed that you were very quiet, but reacting very solemnly to what Ciaran was saying. So I just
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to this one very much.
Cool. Is there ever not a time where I say, Kiley, I involve you? I made sure I involved you in this discussion. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, next up we had what was probably, I'd say, one of the weirdest games here, actually. called Rollerdrome.
I didn't see that
It's
one.
due to come out at some point in August 16th. It is an extreme sports game with a rollerblader.
Of course
Yeah.
it is.
With guns.
Ooh.
I think this genuine.
Yeah, the arts.
Impressive.
I'm with Nana
Yeah.
on this one. The art style is incredible. It's so striking.
It certainly looks very indie.
Yes,
Very indie.
it definitely does to me. So, imagine like, so recently we've had like sports games like Knockout City, and stuff like that. It sort of feels a bit like that, except with guns. It could be an interesting premise.
I like it.
Just not
Yes.
sure about it. I would recommend that you just go and watch the trailer because
Okay.
it's very hard to describe.
I
The
missed
art
that.
style, is very Sable.
Oh right. Okay.
Very
okay,
much a stable
okay.
art style.
Okay.
It's almost
I,
like
yeah,
like
these.
really intense cell shaded.
Yeah.
Can you-
Yes,
art
that's
style.
what. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. There, I couldn't think whether or not it was definitely cel shaded,
Um,
but it gives that feel.
And there was a game like it. You know what it's like? Do you remember? Oh, right. So so in the trailer, if anyone hasn't seen it, so you're rollerblading around. It's like almost like when you aim in and try and shoot someone, time slows down and you get to shoot them almost like an action movie scene, which is really cool.
Oh,
but-
like John Woo's Stranglehold.
Well, yeah, that's bullet time more.
Yeah, but it's definitely. Brent's put it's like Ollie World on rollerblades with guns.
So that reminded me a lot of that same mechanic in Max Payne, where you like jump out from
yeah,
one and it's slow.
Yeah.
And there's this game, this really dumb Source game on PC a couple of years ago.
Oh gosh.
It was called something Electric Boogaloo.
Oh
Right,
God,
dude.
let's.
And
I
you
can't talk
literally-
about that.
Yeah, you literally run around at high speed, but when you go to shoot someone, like time slows down, and that was literally the game. It was so dumb and stupid, but my friends loved it.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
awesome. But
But that's what it reminded me of. It's
I
like
do
that
know.
put into like, a better, more polished
Look.
product.
yeah,
I'm not gonna say former because I'm not gonna be a former roller derby girl. I would love to play roller derby with like an airsoft gun. That would be
this
freaking
that's
awesome.
no. That's the thing though. I watched this trailer and I went, "This looks so up your alley" because it does look like airsoft, basically roller derby.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like, this is kind of cool.
I missed that trailer out of all of them.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to go back and look at it.
Just
But
do go and check it out. Honestly, I think this would be right up your street.
oh yeah. Oh, can you imagine?
Okay,
paintball
so-
on roller derby? Oh, that'd be so painful.
Mm.
But anyway.
Right. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I think that this next game is a Nana game for sure. It's called Eterna Nights. It is an anime action adventure game dating sim crossover,
Oh!
and it looks bonkers.
I
Oh,
vaguely
Nana.
remember this one.
And this is weird, right? Because I don't know if this is coming to PlayStation 5 because they showed the PS4 footage.
That's
Very
weird.
Yeah,
Very strange.
very, very
That is
strange.
very
But
strange.
it's coming early 2023. For me, point
So
proven.
am I.
He said it does look good. It's inspired by Persona.
Oh right, okay.
Look, now you're our resident weeb guy here, so I knew that I could rely on you to be the one to go. Yeah, cool. It does look kind of alright actually. But it's just the dating sim aspect that doesn't appeal to me.
Look, some of us have to rely on dating sims.
Just play Hateful Boyfriend then.
No, I love Hateful Boyfriend. Oh my gosh! That is the.
Kieran, go and play that game. Honestly, it is bonkers.
Oh my gosh! If you haven't heard of Hateful
No,
Boyfriend,
just don't tell him anything
Okay, I
about
won't
it. Just
give
go
any
and play it.
spoilers.
It is bonkers, but
Or,
really.
or if you can't play it, go watch Danny.
Yeah.
Danny play it. But yeah,
Yeah, it's bonkers. I
Danny
think you
O'Dwyer
get a
plays the
good
best
kick
run
out of
through.
it.
The best run through. But
Oh
anyway.
yeah, he was good. That's the one that I watched. He's all over the place.
Oh my gosh! But what Kieran? What were you gonna
Nana
say?
put Hateful Boyfriend is pretty good, lol.
Yes.
So, right.
Kieran was gonna say something and you cut him off.
No,
So-
no,
I'm
don't
so
have
sorry.
anything
I'm
to
so
say,
sorry.
I generally don't have anything to say there, to be honest.
But for
I
real,
think he's just shocked about dating sims and the
Yeah.
weird world of them.
look.
Not
some of
my
us-
cup of tea.
That's the
But power
only.
to you.
That's the only dates we get. Nana, what is it called? What is the female version of a waifu? Like, you told me before.
A
But
weeaboo.
No.
I know.
It's like
Oh,
it's
no.
the husband foo, but it's a.
Oh,
proper term.
husbando.
Is it husbando? Okay.
I think it is.
That's me.
I mean, I'm definitely not definitely not weeb. So
yeah, you're not at all, Pete. No. You know.
I did get it right though. I did get
well.
it right. I did get it right though. So clearly I'm weebish enough.
My husbando is the Ghost
fine.
King, so go watch that. But anyway.
Fine. Let's just say on this one, I am weeb adjacent.
Oh
And
my
I think we have an
gosh.
episode title.
There you go.
Fair warning here. Okay, I'm just going to give you a fair warning. There's 2 warnings for this one. 1, I'm going to gush for a while.
Uh-oh.
2, a lot of information came out after the fact. So if you do not want to know, just go away right now.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
I could make another great joke, but I need to keep it PG.
Why? No one says it has to be PG. But yes, your basement is flooded, Pete. Because you're gushing.
I know what you meant.
Oh, I'm
Them
trying.
pipes are just cracked. They're cracked.
Why? Karen, no, there are no limits. We just
trying
honk
so hard.
everything.
Oh, haven't you missed this?
I'm refraining so much. I could laugh so hard right now. I can make everybody laugh so hard right now. But
Just do it then.
no. Let's just carry on.
Okay.
I need to set an example, Pete.
Yeah, goodness knows I'm not going
you're the
to.
good one out of us. Absolute filth bags.
I'm filthy. I am not an example setter. But yes,
Okay.
go for it, Pete.
So, all right. So the 2 warnings are obviously about that. So I will give you a distinct warning when I'm going to discuss everything after the fact.
Oh, goodness.
And for those obviously, listening, there will be a klaxon in the edits, so don't worry.
Pete will literally scream at the top of his lungs. Spoiler.
That is the klaxon. I'm going to have to record it afterwards. Anyway.
Just imagine
Street
listening.
Fighter 6 trailer was revealed, obviously, so we already knew that Street Fighter 6. First of all, my prediction was incorrect. They changed the logo.
Oh, did they?
Oh yes, they
Good.
changed the
That's a
logo, and it
terrible
looks
logo.
better now.
I was going to say I didn't recognize it when I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
That's
they
That's a terrible logo.
also the art style has had a dramatic change.
That's what I want to hear your opinion on, Pete. Is the art
A very dramatic change.
very.
Now, I know Ciaran wants to hear about one particular part of this. So let's start on that, because it was the first thing we saw. Metro City looks utterly gorgeous. It looks fantastic. But I am so sick of seeing Metro City everywhere.
Kieran's like
The
bad
open
and
world
Pete's a
aspect is a very confusing one for me. But considering it's going to play into a much larger story in terms of a new generation of Street Fighters, and the fact that you play basically an avatar character who's going on a journey, could be quite interesting.
It's like
I do not have faith in Capcom actually pulling this off well, though.
Oh my god.
I worry. I am very worried about that aspect of it.
I certainly was very surprised, as I'm sure many people were, to see that open world aspect
Yes.
in a fighting game.
Yes, 100%.
Yep.
But the more I think about it, I think it is such a cool idea. Being able to walk around and actually walk into like fight. So
Yeah,
I
I like the idea of it. I just don't know whether I'm gonna like playing it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably gonna be redundant if I say if it probably will be this, but like the open world aspect is literally getting from one place to the other. Because realistically,
Yeah.
if you really care about the fights, then it's irrelevant because then you just rather have a game where you can just jump straight into a fight.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they've obviously shown the Metro City Underground, like especially how it was in final fight, which is the second stage. I think that the underground is probably going to be the way that you get around certain places in the city.
Right.
Yeah, because I imagine there'll be like different characters in certain locations
Mm.
that you travel to.
So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not there for that sort of aspect of it. You know, everyone knows why I'm there for Street Fighter, and that's the combat. That is the
That's
characters, the game itself, the mechanics, everything. So they went full on. But I will say, obviously, about this open world aspect, this is very, very clear that this is they've included this because of the criticism that Street Fighter V had across the entire lifespan, that it was content lacking. So I think having a full story mode at launch, having lots of modes available, is definitely because of that. And probably for the better, for sure.
I love story modes in fighting games. I think Mortal Kombat does it best. Mortal Kombat stories, they like it's why
Because they actually take time to make it actually decent rather than completely bonkers.
I kid you not, like I don't see why Warner Brothers doesn't just like hire the writers at NetherRealm to write a live action Mortal Kombat film, because like Mortal Kombat 11 is a literal blockbuster. It is a blockbuster.
Too easy.
It's honestly Mortal Kombat 11's story is something else. Oh, it was great, so enjoyable. And it's always every fight feels seamless. It always makes sense. They make a fight make sense in a narrative.
Yes.
Like yes, you're literally going back to back fights, but they all make sense to be happening.
Yeah.
And that's incredible. Whereas you watch Mortal Kombat the film and it's like,
oh, it's depressing.
I love Mortal
because it was bad.
I love.
No, we're talking the new one.
Okay, I have not watched the new one.
That bad, which wasn't great, was it?
I haven't.
No,
seen
it was that bad. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna spoil it. I don't care, Kylie. I'm gonna spoil it. Making your main character a descendant of freaking Scorpion is the stupidest idea they've ever done.
Why? Get over here. Why?
What?
I don't know why I did. I don't know why I didn't just like do like Liu Kang as the protagonist.
That's exactly my point.
But anyway, that's a
right.
different
I know. So story mode, fine. Probably will play it for a bit. If there's some rewards for it, then fine. We all know why we're here in terms of Street Fighter. It's about good combat. It's about good mechanics. It's about all of that. Right. I got comments about Chun-Li. So first of all, they revealed a new redesign for Luke, who was the last character in the Season 5 DLC for Street Fighter V. They've fully shown off Ryu's new design, and I am here for Hot Ryu. Hot Ryu is damn cool. He is hench, he is bearded, he is hot, he is amazing.
What a beast.
They finally pulled the trigger on that costume that should have been his design in Street Fighter V.
Like Zooey Mama, am I right?
He thick.
Oh, gosh.
I wish.
Oh dear.
They then, Chun-Li's new design was revealed as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
That's what I want to know.
I think the face is a bit weird.
It's a different
but I like
style.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they've gone for more, because of the RE engine. So it's been confirmed that they're definitely using the RE engine for this game. Good move, I think.
Yeah.
Very good move. So they've made Chun-Li look a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of here for it, but I'm kind of not.
I would agree with it. It's kind of like, the face,
It's a bit strange in the face, and they might tweak it a little bit more.
Yeah. I like the anime face a bit better, but that's, again, personal preference.
But based on what we saw in the trailer, her animations are incredibly fluid.
That was my
I'm not getting into that because I've seen all the internet going weird about butt jiggle physics.
I love that because I know it's like as a kickboxer. No, but as a kickboxer with a bootay, the jiggle physics. Oh, I said it right, Pete. Jiggle physics are right on point. That's not jiggle physics in the like
weird.
We want to make her hot. No, that's like that's actually what happens. I've seen videos of my own rear ends. That is what happens, and I love that. I'm there for it. I'm like,
I like
Give me
I do like
realistic
that
physics.
aspect, but what I didn't like after that was all the thirsty Twitter fiends going on and
I
going,
know.
"Oh, look at it jiggle! Oh,
But they do
ooh,
jiggle
woo,
like
woo."
Somebody clip that.
Yeah, I think
Anna,
I
clip
went full
that.
Belle Delphine there. I went full Belle Delphine.
Clip it, clip it.
No, that's
Alright,
your assignment.
Okay, moving on
Really
quickly
quick.
because I'm not going to keep talking about that. They revealed a new fighter and teased a new one.
Ooh,
So the new fighter is Jamie.
I love that.
Now,
Lannister?
boring name aside.
That's not a boring
He-
name.
Sorry?
It's not a boring name. Go ahead.
No. What they did show was a style we've never seen in Street Fighter before. A martial arts known as drunken boxing. And holy hell, I am here for it. I'm not joking, he's probably going to be my main. Just based on that alone.
If you watch Naruto at all, then you will know of drunken boxing. It's what's his face? I'm sorry, I've drank a lot of wine. I can't remember his name, but it's my favorite character of Naruto. Drunken boxing is so fun. It's so fun because you have to. If you do martial arts, sorry, I have to be passionate for a second. If you do martial arts, you know that you're supposed to be, very compact and rigid, and every move has a purpose, and blah 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 blah. Drunken boxing is very very fluid, and you just roll with it. And like my instructor would roll over the back of me and stuff, and it looks so cool. It looks way more advanced than what you're actually doing, but it's so fluid. Like you just roll with the inertia.
Everything links into each other basically. So one movement moves into another movement. It is not static. It's very fluid. It's very sort of.
It's very fluid. Yeah.
All over the place. It's an amazing style to actually watch, and I'm so glad that Street Fighter have finally decided to take the plunge and include a drunken boxer character.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of my favorite martial arts of all time. So I'm gonna be straight on it. So yeah, crack on. Anyway. So yeah, they gave a brief tease for those eagle-eyed viewers who noticed that there was a screen in the back that revealed a new character called Kimberly, who we don't really know anything about because she's going to be brand new to this series. They revealed it's going to have a 2023 release date. However, this is where all the information from the state of play stops. And the floodgates got opened.
Leaks?
Because very full warning here. A lot of information has been leaked. So I'm going to include the klaxon on the edit, so 2 seconds. If you don't want to hear anything related to Street Fighter 6's post state of play announcements or leaks or reveals, please leave until certain time. We good? Are we
I'm
good?
good.
That's for the audio listeners. Anyway, you have been warned. If you're still here, you've been warned. The entire roster. I know Kylie's gone. She's had to disappear for a few moments. She will be back. The entire starting roster appears to have been leaked. I say appears. It has not appeared. Capcom may have intentionally leaked this.
Why, if they're going to intentionally, why not just show it?
I have no idea. So the leaks itself don't just include names. It includes images of every character that's due to be in the base roster, including their redesigns. So classic characters are getting redesigned, and the new characters have obviously got a load of stuff going on with them. Based on the fact that there was a Reddit post a few weeks ago that has now been basically confirmed to be true, predicted every new character's style, kind of their names, and what they looked like. So it's giving credence to the fact that this has been filtered down through some channels. that may have been revealed. Capcom have now acknowledged the fact that this information is out there and have basically confirmed it all to be true.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I can't remember what the tweet said, so I will go over that in a moment. I'll try and find it in a minute, but it's basically something along the lines of, you've seen some things we never wanted you to see, but we'll just enjoy this ride together now.
Oh yeah, I think I saw this.
Yeah.
I did think I
So
see. Yeah,
that's what I mean.
did.
It's like the
Yeah.
official confirmation that
That
what
rings a
you've
bell.
seen is
Uh-huh.
unbelievably true. So I'm going to go through this, not in meticulous detail, but the characters that we've got for this in the starting roster are going to be this: Ryu, Ken, Zangief, Dhalsim, E Honda, Blanca, Guile, or Guile, whatever you want to call him. No, I've heard, no, that's a, anyone who watches old Street Fighter content will know that was an old Mike Ross quote. Chun-Li, Cammy.
Also, yes.
We'll get to that in a moment because she's had a drastic redesign.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to skip one because I was a bit more surprised about that one, so I want to get to that last. Rashid, which is Mr. Street Fighter 5, basically iconic character. Nana will be happy. Jury is back. Ed, who was another Street Fighter 5 character. Akuma is now back in the base roster rather than DLC. Then this is where the new characters are. We have Luke. Then there's a character called Marissa, who is an Italian fighter who looks like an MMA fighter. We have Jamie, obviously the drunken boxer. This leak was funny because this basically revealed Mimi, who is a French fighter, as female Abel. Abel was the karate champion from Street Fighter 4.
Oh.
We then have Lily, who is apparently a descendant or a family member from T-Hawk, wielding some ancient weapons. We then have JP, who is shrouded in some kind of mystery because he could appear to be one of the new boss characters.
That's what my person.
Kimberly, who was shown on the screen at the end of the reveal, and Aki, AKI, it's an acronym, who appears to be Fung's apprentice, which was revealed in the story mode from Street Fighter 5. So, the one that I missed out, DJ. The one that they said would probably never come back for cultural insensitivity is coming back because he's had a massive redesign.
Now, what is he culturally insensitive towards?
Because he was Jamaican, and they made him very Rasta on purpose, let's say.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's culturally insensitive, let's say, more than anything. There are a couple of characters that have been stated, which is why T-Hawk probably won't return because of that reason. I don't get it either, but hey, I like DJ. DJ's a cool character. I used to play him in Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo, and he was my main. So I'm glad to see him back.
See Dawson.
Oh yes,
Mr. Stretchy boy.
Yes.
Dhalsim is the stretchy man. He is now very skinny and very beardy.
I love Dawson.
Dhalsim is cool. Now, one of the things that has been noticed from the leaks is that Ken has now been known at, I'm trying to think of the right word for this, as down on his luck Ken, let's say. Or bottom of the barrel Ken.
Midlife crisis Ken.
Oh god.
Possible midlife crisis
Did he
Ken.
buy a BMW Z4?
No, because he looks very raggedy. Ken is the millionaire of this particular franchise, Mr. Masters, and he looks like a bit of a hobo in this.
Interesting.
I'm very interested to hear about his story then.
He's probably went to Las Vegas.
Look, after I went to Las Vegas, I could have come back like that.
Yeah.
It does strange things to you, you know. Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, this roster looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the roster.
Well,
Also, it was revealed that there are some many other things coming on this, such as control methods. You have your standard Street Fighter control method, but you also have a beginner mode, meaning one button inputs.
That's weird.
Bridging the gap between pro and casual players. But one of the things that it does state that when you're playing them online, it will reveal what kind of control method they are using.
Ah. So if you beat someone using standard controls with the one button, you get messages like, "Oh, you're not a real player."
Scrub.
Yeah.
You'll get the scrub
You wouldn't
comment
beat
on
me if you're
screen.
using normal controls.
Yes.
It's a good game. I had fun.
Anyway, so they added a few more. They've added a few more things to this. Now, this is one of the more interesting features that they revealed. Real-time live commentary from fighting game community commentators from this CPT,
cool.
which is unbelievable.
That's very cool.
They've got these guys in recorded,
and it reacts real time to the fight.
That's really good. You know
That's
what's
very cool.
that's something I've always wondered, like how they even accomplish. Because I've played things like NBA 2K and UFC. We have commentary over the stuff, and I'm like, how long do these people need to be sitting here to like talk about every potential? Especially in like a game like NBA, where you've got different types of players you could be playing up against, like individual players. Like, what if you dunk on like this specific player? They have to record a line for that.
Yeah, they would have to, but on this one, it reacts like in real time. So obviously, the commentators from the CPT that they've only revealed 2 so far, and one of them is Vicious, who is like probably one of the top tier CPT commentators. And I've heard all the actual real time commentary. It's unreal how it works. Like I can't just. I'm not going to describe it. All I would say is just go and try and find the video for it. I know Capcom is DMCA in quite a lot of this, so try it if you can find it. Go and listen to it because it is something to see and go, oh my god, they've actually pulled this off.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great idea. It's an
That's a really cool
unbelievable
idea.
idea.
Actually. Very cool.
But this is the thing that makes me the most excited. The mechanics. Oh, the mechanics. Oh my god, the mechanics. So, what they have done on this time, so any Street Fighter fan, they usually have an EX meter. The EX meter is stored to, obviously, have powered up special moves or a super move. Not anymore. They split it. So, you have a super meter, meaning that you have access to up to 3 supers, which has never been available in a Street Fighter game out of the bat, apart from Street Fighter 3 where you could choose them. No, you have all 3 available to you. What they do have is a meter that you start with 6 bars at the very beginning, and things that you will do in terms of the mechanics will cost that meter. If you utilize all of that meter, you will be put in a cooldown mode, meaning you're very susceptible to extra damage and stuff like that, or stun, let's say. So your stun meter is now linked to that meter. Kind of a crazy one. The mechanics itself, what they have done is they've basically taken everything from the old Street Fighter games. You've got a parry system. You've got the focus system. Oh, Christ. So for the cost of bars, you could either parry, and then the other person could use a focus attack, which they demonstrated in the trailer. There is a moment where Ryu parries an attack from Chun-Li. She then cancels out of her attack into the focus attack and beats it out. It is ridiculous. The amount of what they say is rock, paper, scissors in terms of the fighting game community, this is like dialed up to 11. I think the competitive aspect of this game is going to take this well beyond anything Street Fighter 5 could ever have imagined.
Yeah, I was going to say, by the sounds of it, it sounds like in the competitive scene, matches can be really exciting.
Oh, they're going to be intense.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a very bold prediction here. they will show actual live gameplay on opening night live for this.
You think?
For Summer Games Fest, they will have 2 pro players playing this game. And you'll get to see all those mechanics in play.
I think it will happen, but I don't know if it'll be opening night. Because open night's already quite busy, but maybe bring that
up. I think Capcom are already slated to be there, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had it, because they have revealed that on opening night they are doing live demonstrations of demos.
Oh, right, okay, I didn't know that.
So I think that's where we're going to get it. So it'll be our first proper in-depth look at an actual real-life match.
Might even get to see the commentary above that as well.
I think you will.
Yeah. That'd be really cool, actually. I'm actually really interested to see.
But yeah, I've gushed about Street Fighter 6. Day one purchase without a doubt. Also, the art style looks incredible. Moving on. We had Tunic. So, real come down after that from me. Right. two indie games. they were literally like, here's your first look at Street Fighter 6. Now, 2 indie games. Yay.
Yeah, because that, and then there was the... what's it called? Seasons? And it was like later.
We'll get to that. So Tunic has been revealed. Obviously, we know it's obviously out on Xbox at the moment. Revealed for PlayStation 4 and 5 for 27th of September.
Yeah. Well,
then we then had Season, A Letter to the Future.
That's it.
Very cool art style to it.
Yeah.
Have no clue what the game is.
Yeah.
It looks very much narrative driven.
Yeah, an okay narrative one.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that tends to be PlayStation's angle. You know, I think PlayStation does go a lot into their single player stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good. It's good to see indies are getting a lot of spotlight as well.
Mm.
On that front, it's not not blockbusters that Jim Ryan goes fishing in Wales for.
Look, they felt like they had to include 2 indie games on there to appease the fans, so that's probably what they did. So, Tunic's on Game Pass too. Yes, thank you, Game Pass, Brent. Yes.
Best known gaming, baby.
However, the final game was a big one. Ooh, boy,
I don't know what you're talking about, Pete.
We had a small video message from one Yoshi P. The director of said game, who also directed another game in the series that was on loan only. This would be Final Fantasy 16. Blank face from Ciaran there. I'm not sure if he's frozen. Okay, cool. He hasn't frozen.
Just cool, I guess. Like, this is what I was saying. Like, where I'm gutted that the Callisto Protocol has been buried kind of under all the hype for that and Street Fighter. I feel Street Fighter looks really cool. That's
Look,
one I would. Yeah, looks.
I will be perfectly honest here, and I'll say this wasn't a Sony showcase. This was a Capcom showcase with a couple of Sony properties added on top, or third-party stuff. Capcom really brought out their A game for this one, and good, but it did bury everything else quite massively, because Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, Resident Evil 4 remake pretty much killed everything that was available for this. So now, Final Fantasy 16 didn't appeal to me at all when it was first revealed.
Yeah.
Oh boy, does it now.
Why? Enlighten me, Pete. Tell me why.
The art style looks unbelievably incredible. I think it's probably one of the very few games that actually looks genuinely next generation. It looks smooth. It looks like the time that they spent that when they delayed the game has gone to good use, for sure.
See, I might need to watch the trailer again because I really didn't pick up on that.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if I'm switched off to it. Like, I don't know. I've personally never played them just because I've seen them and they don't really. Doesn't really look like my thing personally. I guess that's what it is. It's just a personal thing.
Which is fair. I mean,
I understand the hype behind it. You know.
There's the comment.
I know. I'm aware, but this is the problem, right? As someone who is not an RPG fan usually, The fact that this has even spoke to me in any way, shape, or form is quite astonishing.
Yeah.
And Nana is not as pleased with it, let's say. So I'll read his comment. He said, I can't lie, I love Final Fantasy, but I can't lie. Everything in this game looks bland as hell. I get why this is appealing to people. It's a very back to basics Final Fantasy, but the trailer got less and less interesting for me over time. I can agree with you in some respects, but as someone who does really enjoy classic Final Fantasy and enjoys a little bit of the action RPG style of Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think it's a really good blend of the two. It's a very, very good blend. For me, what is doing it the most is the story. Basically, the story of this one, it appears to be that there are set people within the world who have a very short lifespan, but are incredibly powerful because of their ability to use summons, such as Ifrit, Bahamut, all the classic summons from Final Fantasy history. And it's a war between all of them for power. And I really like that aspect. The summons themselves look absolutely stunning as well. They look ridiculous. And I am so here for it because one of my favorite aspects of any Final Fantasy game has been the summons.
Oh, definitely. That's where the art really pops.
So yeah, having summon fights, it's going to be quite interesting. And I really like that. And they also, look, they got me with the nostalgia bait. They included a small section of the music from Final Fantasy 1, and I was like, my God, you did it. You know exactly what you're doing. You've played this up for your fans, and you know you've done this.
Well,
And I was so there for it. I was like, I have no interest in Final Fantasy usually, but this one got me. It really did. I don't think it is turn-based, but like it definitely gives my it gives off the impression of having a turn-based feel, but being action-orientated.
No, Brent, it's Shiva. Always Shiva. But the whole reason.
No, whilst I didn't like Final Fantasy X, Majimbo was one of the best summons in Final Fantasy history.
Always Shiva.
One of the best. What, the one that you could pay, that you had to pay to use, that would often disobey you, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But when he did obey you, he was incredibly powerful. But Shiva is awesome.
Yeah.
No lies.
I have always made it not a thing. The whole reason I ever bought a PlayStation, well, I didn't buy it, my dad bought it. It was because of Final Fantasy. I played Final Fantasy on the Super Nintendo, and Super Nintendo, as I pronounced it back then. And I absolutely adored it. And then Final Fantasy VII came out, and my dad got a PlayStation, and I played 8. It wasn't that great. 9 was terrible. 10 was wonderful. 10-2 was even more amazing. Oh, I don't care. Give me all-female RPG.
No, I meant the comment about 9. Oh my God, daggers to the heart. That has just killed every Final Fantasy fan out there.
9 looked like a cartoon. It didn't do it for me.
9 had one of the best stories of the entire franchise.
It's a Saturday morning cartoon. And then I fell off for a while. And then, was it 15 where all the hot guys showed up? Like all the...
What, you mean Mr. Hot Guy Road Trip?
Yeah, that was that one.
That was 15.
Really enjoyed 15. I still have it.
I do quite like some of the aspects from 15. The combat system is interesting, to say the least.
They all look like, I love Chinese woohoo theater. I don't hide that. I always talk about being into Ghost King and stuff like that, and that's all Final Fantasy 15 was. It's just a bunch of but after that I dropped off because it's like they lost their way, and then they focused more on what's the one that's the open world life service one? Is that 14?
Oh, 14.
14? I
Yeah.
could get into that. I just couldn't get into it. So, having said all that nonsense, I'm really looking forward to this one.
Brent.
Why? What's Brent said?
I guess my favourite summon of all time is probably the Magus sisters, since they interact with each other and do their own thing regardless of commands. And yes, they were cool from 10.
They're cool, but Shiva is just amazing. I'm sorry, Shiva and then Bahamut is afterwards, and Ifrit number 3. But Shiva is just so cool. I don't know why people don't love Shiva as much as I do.
I really liked fighting Shiva in 7 Remake, actually. It was a tough as nails fight, but it was well worth it. Aesthetically, it was kind of cool as well.
Oh, she's just the most beautiful. Oh, but if you're into like beautiful things, but Ifrit's the most like metal.
Ifrit's the most intense. I've always been more of a fan of Bahamut Zero as well.
And Bahamut Zero is good too. Yeah, it's very metal, very like hardcore beefcake.
Yeah. But take nothing away from Phoenix, because that's one of the best summons in the entire game of Final Fantasy VII. So,
Nana says,
I'm sure.
Nana says, Kylie, trust me, there are a lot of people who like Shiva. She's got big boobs, so I would hope
sure. I would
hope so.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of people on Twitter who really like Ice Maidens.
Representation. But anyway, so long story short, I am very looking forward to this. I hope so. Like, I have not felt excited about a Final Fantasy game since X2, to be fair, X and X2. After that, it just went.
It was the same for me, except it was 13 that did that for me, and I've made very clear my comments before on Final Hallway 13, so I will not go any further with that one, because I know it will upset certain people in our chat.
Yeah, because 13 is the one with lightning in it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, people are absolutely obsessive about lightning. I mean, okay, pink hair, yes. But but I didn't enjoy the game.
I didn't enjoy the game, and I didn't enjoy any of the characters in the game. I thought they were all incredibly annoying, apart from, I think, one, which was Zaz, and he was the only one that was... But he was so badly written that you couldn't sympathise with him half the time.
Oh gosh.
And I didn't finish the game because Barthandalus, the boss at the end of Chapter 9, was such a pain in the butt that it was so unbalanced.
So, Ciaran, have you ever played a Final Fantasy game?
Never in my life.
This doesn't interest you.
This is quite boring.
No. Again, even after hearing that, it sounds like a cool concept, some of the stuff, but even then, I'm like,
yeah.
You know what I think? I think I'm just heavily Western.
Like, you're into Witcher more than, let's say, a JRPG.
Yeah.
Right.
I like the JRPG combat. Don't get me wrong, I really like it. I like anything semi kind of turn-based ish.
Yeah.
I like that kind of combat, but I don't know. I think I'm just heavily Westernized at this point. That's saying I'm not saying like, oh, it's gonna be bad. Like, I'm not gonna be. I'm not one of those people that are like, just because I don't like something that I'm gonna say it's bad. You know, I hate those people.
Right. Yes.
But it's just not my thing personally. Doesn't
yeah,
really
that's fair enough. Yeah, Brent put, I haven't been excited for Final Fantasy since X, so understandable.
I agree. But
there are certain aspects of Final Fantasy X that I really liked, but there were some that I really did not like at all.
Well, see, here's my thing, and this goes for Fallout, Final Fantasy, and any other games I can't think of right now, because I'm drinking a bunch of wine. But, like, Final Fantasy X had, what was the soccer game called?
Oh, Blitzball.
And then, like, Fallout New Vegas had the card game and stuff like that. Games that have games within games, I personally have never learned those games. Does that make sense? I never played Blitzball. Except when it was part of the storyline, but not extra. I never played Caravan in Final Fantasy New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas. Sorry. I know. I was silly.
I think we might have our episode title there as well.
I'm pretty sure my second playthrough of The Witcher 3, I collected every single Gwent card in the game.
Right, okay.
Which to do, you must beat every kind of Gwent champion in each region of the map.
Right.
I know it's not
Goodness.
obviously get me. You need to buy some others, but you do need to get the full collection of Gwent cards. You need to beat like everyone.
Mm.
Like, well, actually, anyone that you're able to challenge to a game of Gwent in the game, I'm pretty sure you have to beat.
Right.
That's like the only exception here and there. But yeah, I've played like everyone.
Well,
Ridiculous.
Game.
but
And then Assassin's Creed Valhalla had this game called Orlog, which is apparently an old Viking kind of dice game thing.
Oh, okay.
It's all rock, paper, scissors, but in dice, kind of. And
Interesting.
I mean playing that at one point in Valhalla. I just thought it was really good. Not bad. It's not the same as Gwent, where like I'm really enthused by it, but like pretty good. It's very well done.
Well, but that's my thing. Like, Pete, what about you? Do you ever play the games within games? I don't have the patience
particularly.
for it. Yeah.
No, there are obviously when you have to play them within the game itself, like to progress the story. Yeah, I will play it.
Right. Yeah.
Like with Blitzball, I played that one section where it was part of the story and never touched it again.
Yep.
It was kind of the same with the thing that you did in Final Fantasy VII, the strategy game thing that you had.
Which one?
It's like the war simulator thing that you had. I think it's near Cosmo Canyon that you did it. I can't remember, but
I honestly can't remember. Wow.
no, there was also the snowboarding that I just didn't enjoy either. So yeah, games within games, I don't tend to play. The only one that I ever did was Squid Jump in Splatoon 1 because it was a loading game feature.
Oh, right. Which we've talked about before. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you were waiting for a battle, they had like what was called Squid Jump, and it was basically just a pseudo platform with a squid that was played on the Wii U game screen whilst it was loading in the background. It was kind of cool. It was really easy, but it was cool.
Well, for our watchers, not so much our listeners, but for our watchers, if you have ever played a game within a game, let us know. But Pete, hold on, I have to read chat.
Oh no! Okay, I'll read these. Don't worry. Brent just put sometimes I boot up Final Fantasy X just to play Blitzball and Homefront just to play Time Splitters.
Yes.
Now that's a good choice.
Okay, let's be honest here. Okay, I was so hyped when Homefront was gonna come out. So hyped. I thought it was gonna be the next Metro 2033. I thought it was gonna be like just. I just thought it was going to be something else entirely. And then Homefront came out. It was a on-rails shooter. It wasn't that great. There was no open world aspect. The lore is really good. The only thing it had was that you could play Time Splitters in it. And for people like Pete, that's like the winning. Oh gosh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, that.
Yeah. Yes, I bought it for that reason too.
I was so disappointed in Homefront, and then Homefront 2, I was even more disappointed in. That's probably my biggest letdown of that year, that season, that game season, type of thing. But I know, like, for you, Pete, and for people like you, that being able to play Time Splitters was like, oh.
Yeah, it was cool. But to be fair, since they included the emulation and the next gen update for Time Splitters 2, I don't see the point in playing Homefront anymore because I could just play that.
Well, yeah.
And I did with a couple of mates very recently. The one thing that I always worried about is whether or not Time Splitters 2 would ever hold up to the test of time. It does.
Okay.
Oh, it's still incredible.
Pete is crazy about Time Splitters.
Time Splitters 4 is coming soon.
You know, if you'd asked me a year ago, I would have said absolutely not. And then here we are. So that
Time
tells
Splitters
you.
4 has officially been announced. The Free Radical been reformed, so the original people are back on it.
There you go. So people holding out for Black and White 2, such as myself, just keep holding
Thank you,
out.
Embracer Group. Thank you, Embracer Group.
Maybe it'll happen. You don't know. You don't know.
It's the only time that I'll ever praise the corporate overlord.
Oh,
That is
gosh.
Embracer, because they
dear.
brought back Free Radical. I am at your mercy.
But anyway, Pete, any closing thoughts before we move on to Ciaran's closing thoughts?
Yes, I have just a few.
Yes, go
And
ahead.
it could be summed up in a few amount of words.
Uh-huh.
Best state of play ever.
Really? You think so? Ooh.
100%. It had a bit of everything for everyone, I think. Whilst it was a bit top heavy with Capcom stuff, but I'm not going to argue with it. I'm a Capcom apologist, like we've already said.
Yeah.
The reveals of obviously Street Fighter, the proper reveals of Street Fighter 6, Resident Evil 4 Remake were absolutely on point for me, whilst I still prefer the original Resident Evil 4. I'm still quite interested to play the remake. All the updates for the VR stuff was not for me. I know it's obviously teasing the upcoming PSVR 2, which by the sounds of it sounds like it could be a very interesting piece of kit in terms of VR. But the games that we did get outside of that, I thought looked really interesting actually, especially Stray and Rollerdrome, and Final Fantasy 16, which finally got onto my radar. So, like I said, bit of everything for everyone, bit of some pretty big budget games, a couple of indie games in there that have obviously captured the hearts of people, and so the fact that they're focusing on PC development as well with a little bit less time in between releases just shows that Sony are more interested in multi platforms. Obviously not putting it on Xbox or Switch, but fully embracing that like the PC community, which they've neglected for a very, very long time.
Well, Brent has a good question.
Sorry?
Brent has a good question before we wrap up. What about your
predictions? We are going to get to predictions in a moment.
Okay. So Ciaran, closing thoughts on the state of play.
Pretty good. Again, there's a couple that wasn't a bad, but and overall, like a good showing for a lot of different people. Again, you had plenty of stuff for the VR audience. You had a lot of interesting games. You had Stray, you had Rollerdrome, you had the other end that I can never remember. Season, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, you had big hitters. You had obviously Street Fighter and Final Fantasy. And again, I think I was pleasantly surprised to see Callisto Protocol getting a gameplay trailer. I was so happy about that. That was like the one thing that I was like, oh, wow. Because I didn't really, I think it was, I didn't expect it to be a PlayStation showcase.
Yeah, probably.
Considering it's not like exclusive, as much as like they tried to promote it as such. Like, because if you look at the trailer, it says it's coming out on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation.
Sorry, I forgot to add one thing about Street Fighter. It's on Xbox now.
Oh gosh. Oh dear.
Probably with cross-play as well.
Yeah, right. I was wondering this, Pete, because I did see the tweet from Xbox, and I saw people like in the comments talking about it. I was like, I thought Street Fighter was always like everywhere. That shows out.
No.
Out of
it's Street Fighter 5 had an exclusivity deal with Sony because Capcom weren't even going to make Street Fighter 5, and then Sony went, we need a big hitter, so here's like most of the development costs, so make it for us.
I wonder
so now that Capcom are in a financially better position because of the success of Resident Evil 7, the remakes, Monster Hunter Rise and World, they now feel like they could probably put more of a budget into the game, and it definitely shows. So having it available but it obviously is Series X and S only, whereas it's PS4 and PS5 and PC.
Yeah, I think we're going to see, like, I'll mention our predictions actually, but yeah.
Kiley?
Okay. That means it's my turn.
Yeah, it does. So please sum up your thoughts.
What I will say is that I have yet to purchase a PS5. I am still not inclined to purchase a PS5, but I'm more inclined than I was with the PSVR 2, if that makes sense. Although I still haven't been pushed over the line. There's still nothing that was shown that made me go, oh my gosh, I have to have a PS5. So I'm going to sit back and watch and see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in this.
Okay, quick clarifying question on that one in terms of the PSVR 2 stuff.
Right.
Do you think you'd be pushed more over the line when you actually see the unit itself and the controls?
Definitely, because one thing I want to say is obviously I have a PSVR, the original thing, and to purchase the what are they called, the
Move controls.
Move controls with the little
Yeah.
bubbles on their heads. Yeah, it's
The light up dildos, as they're called.
whatever those things are. They're like 10 years old, and they're still like between 80 and 100 quid to buy.
Ridiculous.
I have not purchased them, so I still, if I do use my PSVR, which is very rare, I use just the regular, controller. So if they present a unit that has the full controls and everything, and it looks very futuristic and stuff, yeah, I can probably be swayed. I'm swayed by marketing very easily. If it's like sexy and cool, I will buy it.
Yeah. So from apparent leaks that have been going around, so just for viewers there, obviously I've got a DualSense controller there.
Right.
Apparently, like each controller is basically a split in half of the PS5 DualSense controller, so it's not going to include the touch sensitive bit there.
Right.
So you'll have like your D-pad and all that on one side, a couple of buttons on the other side, but apparently it is going to have haptic feedback and adaptive triggers on there as well.
I might get into that. And I do, yes, I 100% admit that it's very ironic that I can't take more than 10 minutes of VR, and yet I love to be on the cusp of VR. I refuse to buy a Quest. Is it Quest? Is that what it's called?
Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah, that thing, because I'm not big into like Facebook and Facebook like serving me up ads while I'm in the middle of, chilling on the beach or whatever. So if I do VR, it's always going to probably at this point in time be PSVR 2. But I'm hesitant until I see the full package. And that's Pete hitting his mic.
It was actually me hitting my table.
Oh, yes, sorry. Pete hitting his table. But at the same time, while I'm like, I love to be up on that kind of tech, I'm also not really feeling, I'm just not feeling it. There's nothing compelling me to go get it, if that makes sense,
I do, yeah, because like, I have been sitting there like recently, and I have been assessing whether or not the PS5 was a worthy purchase when I made it, and so far, no, it's been a waste of money.
Right, and you're a person who loves like Street Fighter, and you played Ratchet and Clank and all those.
It's the only PS5 game I've actually played so far.
Right. I mean, I debate, of course, also that I live on an island that's off to itself, and things are terribly hard to get over here on this island. So I do debate, should I put out the money, blah, blah, blah. I have yet to see anything from PlayStation that has made me want to put out the money.
Definitely, I would think probably in this respect, definitely not, because Resident Evil 4 Remake's going to come to Xbox. If you were interested in Street Fighter, it's going to come to Xbox. The Callisto Protocol's coming to Xbox.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff that you've seen on this showcase are coming to other platforms.
I try my best to remain open-minded. I'm not one of those people who are into the whole console wars type thing, because I started out as a Nintendo girl, then went to PlayStation girl, and then became an Xbox girl. So I try to stay open-minded, but I'm going to be very perfectly honest. I have yet to see anything from PlayStation, including this State of Play, that has made me go, ooh, I just got to have that. Maybe if I was a cat girl, maybe. But I'm a dog person.
Well, that could sound very different for a lot of people on the internet.
I will take your word for that. I think I might be a bit naive on that one.
Probably, yeah.
But
a definite subsection of the internet that really like anthropomorphic cats.
I only know cat girl from Fortnite. The cat girl suit. But
yeah.
Full stop. Nothing has been revealed yet. And again, I'm keeping an open mind. I want our listeners and watchers to know that I'm not saying, I am only an Xbox fangirl. No, yeah. I keep an open mind about everything, but I just have yet to see anything from PlayStation that has said, go buy it right now. Go spend that, $500-600 quid. I just haven't got it yet. I will be honest.
I bought my PlayStation 4 for Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I bought my PS5 for Street Fighter 6.
And now you can play it on the better console.
Wrong.
Six.
Wrong. Because I cannot play it with that behemoth down there.
Why can't
My
you?
arcade stick.
Oh, right.
Ah,
Okay.
so
So I will be playing it on PlayStation 5 because it is a PS4 stick.
No.
But what it does mean, Ciaran, is
See,
that I can still play against you
All right.
Ah,
on
well,
Xbox.
when it inevitably comes to Game Pass, yes.
If I bought you
I'd
a copy
watch
of the
that.
game,
Have you bought me a copy? Well,
Oh,
have you bought me a copy? Of
gosh.
course I'm going to play it. I'm
Oh,
not going to like just sit
gosh.
there with like a copy.
Yeah.
It's like, I
Oh. The
Just-
bromance
oh.
continues with the little, yeah. Buying
just
stuff.
right.
what it sounds like is I'm pouring out Ciaran to stream.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Pete's Kieran's sugar daddy. I'm for this. I'm here for this.
I need someone to play against. Need someone to train against here. I think you'll like it. Here's Street Fighter. Like, I'm not going to turn around and say sucker. I'm not going to play that. You've wasted your money. Of course I'll play it if you. But don't do that.
Look, the last time that
Don't do
the
that.
last time that I did a nice thing and bought a game for someone, it went uninstalled for a very, very, very long
What?
period of time,
Are we
and probably
talking?
still is.
Are you talking about me and Cyberpunk?
Yes.
I installed Cyberpunk. Thank you very much. I even played it and posted screenshots to Twitter. Oh.
Just to prove.
And for the audio listeners, I was just doing the sign of I went fishing and I caught a big one.
Yeah, that was bait right there.
Oh, yeah.
But
Right, predictions for Summer
Let's-
Games Fest. We're
let's
gonna
do
wrap through these
predictions.
pretty quickly, shall we?
um,
Because obviously, Summer Games Fest opening night live is coming on
which
Thursday.
let me
Thursday.
interrupt right quick. Chat and our listeners, please let us know if you want to see that. I would love to do a live stream of that, but I don't want to put anyone out, if that makes sense. You know. So let's
Have a look when it is.
I think it will be later on.
I
For
think
us
it's
over
like
here.
10 or
Yeah,
something
I'm
like
trying
that.
to see what time it starts. Oof. Yeah, no.
What time?
2 p.m. EDT.
I don't know what that means.
Actually, no.
I don't know what that
Oh no,
That's-
there's 2 p.m. So that'd be 7 o'clock our time. Actually,
not
yeah,
bad.
probably could happen on the Thursday.
after dinner.
Well, yeah, I mean, we usually do our planning meeting on a Thursday, so we could just replace that with a stream instead.
It's true. Let us know if you want to do that. I'm totally up for that.
Yeah.
And if
The
these
Xbox
guys are up
Showcase
for
will
it.
be next Sunday as well, but I won't be available for that one. So if
Let
anyone
us
wanted to jump on the
know about
stream,
that,
then crack on.
because I think Kieran and I are available, but I don't want to like impose on people if that's not a thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to stream that stuff.
Okay, so
Okay.
only I
Whatever.
would be available.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay,
so-
if we have a listener or a viewer who would like to jump on a stream and discuss it, then
with
crack
me, I guess.
on. Well, I'll be there for opening night live so that I can rip on Jeff Shealy.
Oh gosh, don't do that.
Hey, don't
I
say
will.
that, but dear Jeff.
I will.
Dear Jeff.
I
Anyway,
might
so-
post on Twitter if we want any of our viewers or listeners to join me. And if not,
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't like doing things on my own. I'm weird. I'm very weird about that. But I'm up for
Okay.
it.
Right. So
Predictions.
this is- yeah, I was gonna say we've got some interesting ones in the chat from Brent already, which could start us off.
Okay.
I mean, I was going to list it when Noah was going to be there on.
Okay,
Thursday.
you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, if you go to Summer Game Fest official Twitter, they have been slowly like, drip feeding us
Yeah.
things that are going to be there on the night.
Yeah.
So we know for a fact that we're getting the first campaign gameplay demo of the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh yes, yeah, I remember.
We'll get
that.
to see we'll get to see the full Task Force 141 with, of course, Soap McTavish, a good Scotsman. And we're getting the Callisto Protocol, which I already mentioned. We're getting the first gameplay demo of that,
Mhm.
which
Yep.
I cannot wait for.
Yep.
We're getting a Gotham Knights either trailer or gameplay showcase.
It better be good because that last one was very underwhelming.
Honestly, it's basically honestly, if it's like co-op Arkham,
That
Yeah,
could
I was
be
very
cool.
underwhelmed by the previous gameplay footage, though.
That
I
could
quite
be
liked it.
cool.
I thought it was good enough.
I just
Again,
didn't.
I'm
I
watching
just didn't
stuff.
like the. I really didn't like the way that it looked like Red Hood was floating in between, like
Well, see,
fighting it,
right.
which looks really weird to me.
See, I've actually seen people really like that. That they've kind of given him like almost like powers based on based on his kind of backstory that he was resurrected
Mm.
to the Lazarus pit and stuff almost.
Yeah,
They
I
kind
do understand.
he's almost brought some of that magic with him, which I think it's a cool concept. I agree with that side of the camp. Where, like, yeah, it's a cool
Yeah.
way to like make him feel more interesting, just a guy that looks cool and has guns. Because I say it all the time, I hate Jason Todd. But yeah, and of course my boy Dick Grayson is there, and we all love Nightwing here.
So,
But
is there anything else that's been officially confirmed yet?
Cuphead, the big
Oh,
DLC.
Final Last Course.
Yes, that one. And Dwayne the Rock Johnson is going to be there
Oh gosh.
live. Like, if
Well,
that's if that doesn't
that
buy you over,
Well, that can
Oh,
only be
goodness.
that he's revealing one of two things: the new
The-
movie,
the movie.
the movie, or well, it could also tie into the fact that there might be some kind of Black Adam game.
Oh
Nah, I
right.
doubt it. Yo, hold up. What if right on that? What he's there because he's playing Black Adam, and what's Black Adam part of?
He's a Shazam
DC.
villain, I believe.
Yeah.
What's Shazam part of?
Yep. DC.
DC.
Yeah.
DC. And what is one of the best fighting games ever created? Based on
Injustice.
DC. See if we get Injustice 3.
Oh,
this
I'm
year.
on to
goodness.
Sank here.
I-
I'm on to
I-
Sank.
I will
goodness.
scream.
Oh,
I will
I'm on-
scream.
goodness.
I was on to Sank here, and I said, did say.
Because Black Adam wasn't Injustice 2. I think it was Injustice
Yeah.
1. What was Injustice 1? I can't remember.
I think
Not
so.
sure. All I want to see from Injustice 3, if it is shown, is Doomsday coming back. Because Doomsday was
gosh.
amazing in Injustice 1. As was
Mm.
Nightwing. I really want to bring Nightwing back. Because
Oh,
they get
yeah.
Red
Yeah,
Hood. And,
Nightwing played very well in the first game.
Yeah. Red Hood was cool in the second one, but again,
Not
I prefer
quite
that.
the same as Nightwing.
Dick Grayson's just like the Giga Chad Robin.
It's true. I actually agree with that.
Jason's Alpha, fair enough.
Yeah,
I
but
see
Red
that,
Hood is a cool as villain though.
Either that or we get Red Robin, because I don't think what's his face, Tim Drake gets enough love.
That's
No.
true. That's true. That he is
And
kind
then,
of
and then
like.
nobody really
Look,
cares
so,
about him.
look, so long as it's not Damian Wayne, I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
Because Damian Wayne was Robin in Injustice 2, and every time I
Exactly.
fought him, I made sure to beat that little punk up.
Eh.
I really give it to that punk.
I'm so over Damian Wayne. Seriously.
Yeah.
Sniveling little tit.
Yeah.
I just.
So-
How?
See if Dwayne goes up right and like reveals that It Takes Two was a ploy. It was all a ruse, and he's
Oh,
like,
that was it. It was the In Text 2 movie. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
What, yeah.
My man goes up and says, guys, I'm here to reveal It Takes Two movie, and he rips off his shirt and says, psych. He's like, whoa, what's going on here, Dwayne?
Oh my gosh.
What is this?
And
Like,
it's
you
same
thought
with
we're making that
Air Force.
jabroni ass film? No, we ain't making that. And then he says, watch this. Goes black. Gears of War
Injustice.
movie.
Yeah.
Finally. A Gears of War movie. Finally. Honestly, it needs to happen. God damn
I
it.
would be
It needs
into
to happen.
that. I would be.
Gears
into that.
movie with Dave Bautista and The Rock would be cool as
Dave
hell.
Bautista,
I
Rock, John Cena, Terry Crews.
Oh gosh.
Get them all in it.
I tell
would
you what,
watch
right?
it.
If
I would watch it in 2 seconds.
I would too, but I'm going to be bold here, and I would say that they're probably going to reveal the Injustice game and Injustice
I don't think
movie.
so. Injustice already had a movie. It's got an animated film.
Yeah, but a live action one.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
DC are like branching away from the Marvel framework, which is good for them. I think it's better.
Exactly. So that's why I think they could have this pseudo universe
Yeah.
stuff where they include some of the characters that have been included elsewhere. So, that'll be where you might see the rumored Ben Affleck coming back as Batman.
He's never come.
Yeah, because Zack Snyder was really trying to set up an Injustice plotline.
Exactly. Yeah, with the Nightmare Future.
Yeah.
But I think Dwayne going up and revealing Injustice 3, a long shot. I think he's definitely there for That Takes Two movie.
Definitely, yeah.
But
Okay.
I don't even think
So-
about Injustice 3 being a potential thing that gets revealed, because I think there has been some rumours that we will be seeing something soon about Injustice.
See,
So
now,
it's some place, maybe some showcase, I don't know where.
Yeah,
I
the
think
thing
it
is,
might
though,
be
is that there have been more leaks confirming Mortal Kombat 12 before Injustice 3, though. I know it obviously, like, it doesn't fit in with the usual, like,
Yeah.
release schedule.
Well, just because you think Mortal Kombat 11 got that big story expansion,
Mhm.
DLC is like 20 quid, and like you got a bunch of characters with it, and you got again a story, like
Yeah,
more
yeah.
story, more onto the already blockbuster plot.
Mm,
It was just,
yeah, of course.
I mean,
But-
that's something that I hope they do with Injustice 3 when that comes out as well. Like, say they just add a big expansion. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say is possibly against the idea of Injustice 3 being there is the fact that AT&T were looking to sell off the Warner Brothers business at one point. And possibly NetherRealm. So it might be that they've decided to shift focus onto Mortal Kombat 12 because of the uncertainty about their future in terms of being able to work on Injustice.
I mean,
Surely some of that's in DC sense. Oh no, because Warner Bros. Owns the rights
right.
to the
Yeah, which is owned by AT&T.
entertainment
technically.
division.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right, okay. So is that all that's been basically confirmed so far?
Yeah, that's all. That's all I see in the Twitter.
Okay,
again,
so let me.
they've been drip feeding like day by day, basically.
Sure.
That's
So let me run through these that Brent's put down in the chat because I've been waiting he's been waiting for these for a very long time by the looks of it. So he says, I'm saying this now. This is the year that all the Xbox rumors over the pandemic come to fruition. Banjo reboot, GoldenEye, Persona, Final Fantasy VII Remake, New Vegas 2 / remake, Gears Collection, Forza Motorsport, Ubisoft Plus, all of it on Game Pass, plus the Game Pass Ultimate Family Plan. No hardware this time. Quake reboot will probably be at QuakeCon instead. Now, I am going to say that a lot of that is, I don't know if it's going to happen. I know they're all rumoured. I just don't think that they're, to put it proverbially, I just do not think that Microsoft are going to spill their load quite like that this year.
Blow their load.
Yeah, right. So, Forza Motorsport's potential, I think.
Forza, yes.
Yeah, I can see Forza. The
Banjo,
family.
probably not.
I mean, they're gonna have to
No.
talk about Game Pass. They always do.
Yeah.
We're,
Well,
go- we're,
yeah,
gonna,
I think.
we're gonna get things coming to Game Pass. I think
Mhm.
that's a different prediction setting up what could be possibly come to Game Pass, because no doubt for this announcement season they're gonna try and get big things into
Sure.
that. Plus, they'll probably like games they will announce, then they'll also say, and on day one this is coming to Game Pass. I mean,
Yeah,
that's another whole thing. Predicting a game and then saying it's going to be a day one Game Pass as well, because you never know. You never know.
Sure.
Um,
I do probably think the family plan will be revealed in some way here. Probably the pricing structure.
I have my fingers crossed that we will see something of Fable.
Oh, I hope so.
I really want Fable.
Oh,
I need Fable so much. The other day, I was actually talking about Fable the other day because I had one of the Monty Python guys. Oh, who was it? Was it John Cleese? I'm getting that wrong.
I mean, John Cleese is one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think John Cleese was in 3. It's one of the Monty Python ones. They're like one of the main voice actors in 3. He had Jonathan Ross was also in Fable 3.
Gosh, yeah.
Voicing.
Oh yeah.
And I don't like, as much as I personally don't say I'm British, I don't know, there's like, it feels like a very UK game, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's something about that.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's that like humour to it. I don't know. I just can't wait. And obviously we know that humour's still there because of the trailer where the frog just absolutely swallows the
Yeah.
And also the fact that Playground games are based in the UK. So they will definitely get that as a humour style.
Playground done Forza Horizon.
They did.
See honestly, seeing the engine for that game.
That's what they're using. They're using the Forza Horizon engine for it.
Like I hope to God we see even something, even just like the tiniest like bit of gameplay. I don't care if it's like coming 2024, like even just a tiny something to show us like how it will look like. Just not so much graphics, because again graphics will change all the time if it's early in development, but like, you know, I want to see, you know, how over the shoulder is it? Is it over the shoulder? Is it a bit far back? Remember the Fable 3 the camera was a bit quite far back.
It was a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to see how they're making it, because I like the I'm hoping for Fable.
Yeah.
I'm not putting out too much hope,
Absolutely.
but Blood Hunt. We're gonna no Blood Hunt. That's the one. Redfall. We're gonna get gameplay for
Redfall,
Redfall.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, Redfall and Starfield for sure. I reckon.
We're guaranteed getting
Just
gameplay.
yeah. I find it quite funny. Hi, Geordie. Geordie's come in. Mr. Xbox Era himself has come in. And whilst we're talking about Xbox,
I was going to say how good is that of timing, Jolly? You came in with the
Yeah.
Xbox showcase. I'm saying, Jolly. I don't know if you heard me there. I'm thinking Fable. I think we could see Fable. I'm hoping for Fable. But
Yeah.
I'm
Kylie, do you want to just leverage a couple of predictions Microsoft related to us?
Well, maybe not predictions, but like hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to echo.
Please don't, because I'll start talking about Toby Fox.
Oh goodness! Wait, didn't he just do the music to something? He did. He just.
He's been announced to be doing the
That
Pokemon
was
Scarlet
it.
and Violet music,
Yeah,
which is going to be
which
awesome.
We have not talked about Pokemon.
I don't care.
But
Lechonk.
yes, the chunk. A little piggy. He's so cute. I hope he stays on 4
Right.
feet.
I love Lechonk.
Yeah.
Microsoft.
What was I saying? Oh, yes. So hopes and dreams. But I have to echo Ciaran with Fable. I would absolutely love to see, Fable anything again.
So it was like 2 years ago that trailer, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was.
It was a while
it was
ago.
doing-
It wasn't like too
Yeah.
long ago.
It was
No, it was the 2021 June showcase, I believe, that they showed it off. Because
No, sure it wasn't that
no,
close.
no, because I had to go back and remaster all our old episodes, and
Are
I
you
heard it again. So
sure?
yeah,
Sure it
That
was.
teaser.
No, it couldn't have been 2021. You're lying to me, Pete. You're pulling my plonker here.
I'm 100% certain on that one.
I would watch that. But
Oh, maybe no gameplay then. I didn't realize it was that close.
yeah, I didn't realize either. I was thinking 2 years ago as well. So probably
I
won't
mean,
see gameplay.
okay,
but
fine. Let me just say I'm 95%, not 100%, because now you put doubt in my mind.
well, either way, I would like to see anything.
5% Miles of Error isn't really enough to make me say, oh, well, okay, then I'll still keep my prediction.
You still put doubt in my mind enough that I probably think that Fable could get shown in some way,
I'm very
even if
persuasive.
it's just CG related.
I'm very persuasive, Pete.
You can be.
I mean, little do you know,
That's the power of a Scot.
I subconsciously tricked you into offering to buy me Street Fighter. You didn't know it. You still don't know it. I've openly told you. You won't even remember this conversation.
Either
Oh,
that,
my
or I'm
goodness.
an absolute genius and I knew exactly what you were doing and just played into it without you realizing it.
But see, that's my plan. You see, Pete.
But maybe that was my plan all along to get you
What
onto
would you
Street
do?
Fighter.
What would you
To
do?
finally admit that Street
Yeah.
Fighter is better than Mortal Kombat.
The bromance continues.
Don't know, Pete. I don't know, Pete. You don't have
This-
fatalities. You don't have fatalities or spawn.
Yeah, but
Or-
fatalities
love
is the
fatalities.
only thing that... No, I'm going to plead the fifth on this one. I'm going to take the higher ground and go... Nope.
Sorry.
Okay.
I
mean,
have the
we-
higher
I mean,
ground.
I
here.
have the
Pete,
higher
it's because
ground.
we can both agree injustice just beats both. You know, I agree. I completely agree, Pete.
I'm going to
You-
disagree. No.
Pete,
No, no.
I hear you. I hear you.
Wrong.
I-
I'm going to disagree because Injustice had to incorporate a 6-button layout, which has been
gosh.
synonymous to Street Fighter since the very beginning, and back to block, which is not something that NetherRealm usually do.
So my prediction.
You know, Pete. It's because Street Fighter's been around for a long time. Take for influences and stuff. We got to respect our history.
Yes, of course. And
but-
I respect that Mortal Kombat has a very rich and varied history, that most of it is not very good.
Let's carry on.
My predictions, as we're going to continue, I will interrupt this little lover squirrel. Is that I would love to see Starfield. Obviously, I mean, I've made no hidden anything about that.
If you ask me, it's about goddamn time we actually saw
exactly.
of that game.
And there I was getting told on a previous episode that I'm sick of seeing it. It's like, it's on Game Pass. I was like, but I need to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's that way. I think I said this to you the other day. I'm the same with Starfield as I am with Avatar: The Way of Water. Avatar's been around that long, so is Starfield. Avatar's longer. I've lost excitement for them. Yet the intrigue is still there because
Yeah.
both look like very interesting sci-fi worlds, and I like my
Yeah.
sci-fi stuff. So
Sure.
I want to see it, and I want to be excited for it. But if they want that from me, they've got to
That's
show me
the
it.
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
after promising us a November 11th release, and
They
then
promised
reneging
themselves
on
that
that,
release. That's real. Probably
Yeah.
they
Yeah, they
wanted
did.
that. They wanted that so bad.
they did.
Todd really wanted that synergy.
Yes.
God love him.
As we talked about
God
on
love-
Sunday.
God-
Love him or hate him, at least he tries.
He's weeping right now.
Aw, don't make me feel bad again. But
Nana's just put, I don't know, it just got delayed with Redfall. I still think that they're still going to show it because
Yeah,
they
they will.
need to.
They
I
have
think
to
they
show it.
need to.
don't you love
Like,
hearing my
But,
predictions?
like
It's
I doubt they've delayed it because it's catastrophically unready. It's like I don't think that's the
Mhm.
case. I hope to God
Sure.
it's not the case.
well,
But like because of that, I think we'll see something. We'll see gameplay, and you know, in a way that, as most gameplay demos are, kind of scripted, so that there is no scary bugs we see early that we shouldn't see. You know,
Yeah.
it'll be some like kind of scripted little run through. We get to see where they make sure there is nothing that will go wrong in the presentation. If there is
Yes, and that.
any bugs that they're ironing out, you know.
And they'll make sure to include that little disclaimer at the bottom that says not final.
Yeah. Or even the more elusive. This is a beta version of the game.
or the this is a work in progress and things are subject to change.
Sorry, Brent, it's just not happening.
Sorry, Kylie. I apologize. I did just have to get in with the fact that Nana is very skeptical about the whole
I'm trying
thing.
my
But carry on.
best here. But yeah.
Why did you suddenly go Italian there?
My grandmother's
I
full
wanted to
Italian.
start a field.
Yeah, I want to start a field. Yes.
Oh, we're getting cancelled this episode, aren't we?
My grandmother is
no.
full Italian. She may have been born in Scotland, but she's Italian. Was. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So Starfield, I would love to see gameplay of Starfield. Anything, not even just gameplay, just anything. Just give me anything because
What concept art?
Concept art. Well, I've kind of seen that, but
you just
Concept art in a video.
yes. But I personally am looking very forward to that. I would like to see. It's not going to happen, but anything with Dragon Age, Dread Wolf. I would like to see anything more
You're
than.
hopeful.
Yeah, I know.
I will buy Dragon Age Dreadwolf Day 1 if I can. Like I'll Inquisition. I'll argue to my dying day that Inquisition is one of the greatest single RPGs of all time.
Yeah, it's very.
With DLC, I'm including that, but even without the DLC, obviously I played Inquisition when it came out.
I was gonna say I played it when it came out without.
And it was still great. Mm-hmm. The open world bits in the late game kind of got a bit like annoying to have to go through.
Yeah.
But the game's massive, and there was like the writing great exception.
Oh, the writing's wonderful.
I'm pretty sure to this day I've still never got through all the DLC yet. That's the thing. I think it's the last DLC I've never actually played through in its entirety.
I probably have.
Because it came out so late.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did it all in one like a cram session.
I'm almost certain that is the big thing is that the last DLC came out for Inquisition sets up which kind of teases what this one's going to be.
I absolutely believe
without
that.
saying anything for anyone that's not played the game or anything, but
I'm very looking forward to that. I would also love to see, and people are gonna roll their eyes, and I don't care. I would love to see some Saints Row stuff. Anything, just
I think that's a given. To be fair,
they released the character creator footage, which was, if you know anything about Saints Row is very, very well known for its character creator being so just massive and just amazing. And yes, they have jiggle physics. So I would like to see a little bit more than the character creator. I'm very pleased about that. Don't get me wrong. But I want to see something more because a lot of people have been complaining that it's very sparse and open. But that just makes me think of Fallout New Vegas, which is very sparse and open, and it's my favorite game, or one of my favorites. So I'm kind of cool with that. Just let me see a little bit more. And then I don't know. To be fair, I'm very excited for the Bethesda Microsoft showcase. That's probably the highlight for me. But I mean, I'm pretty obvious.
I think what's also a given is Elder Scrolls Online thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I would. They well, two things. One, they did a kind of, now this was just a demo. It wasn't anything to be anything, but somebody redid Skyrim in the Unreal Engine 5, and it looked freaking amazing. So what I'm hoping is that we get anything, just anything about the future of, well, I'll say Skyrim, but I mean the entire world.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah. Elder Scrolls, anything. Just give me something. I'm so dying for that.
Say no more concept art.
Well, yes, I'm tired of concept art. I want to see real stuff.
Bethesda love giving us concept art. I think they might mention something like at least give us the, confirm the setting, which I'm almost certain. I'd put my money on it being High Rock, Breton territory.
I mean, I could see that. Yeah, I would. You know what? I'm at the point now. It's been 10 years, 11 years.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see anything. I don't care where they set. They can set it back in.
In terms of, I want to bring up as well. Was it Brent that brought up the potential Ubisoft Plus coming to Xbox?
Right.
Right. I had this discussion because we know EA Play, is it?
Right.
EA Play's
EA
part
Play.
of EA Pass. Yeah, that's the name of it. I don't think Ubisoft would immediately launch their streaming service integrated with Game Pass immediately.
Well, they are on PlayStation though.
Exactly. They are, but I suppose they've got extra revenue. But even at that, I suppose not, because EA plays on PlayStation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not quite the same level as it is with Game Pass.
It's definitely not, but I mean, it is there.
I'd say right now, it'd be Sony's best bet to try and get Ubisoft Plus into PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, and I think probably has it as an exclusive as well.
You know what's my dream though? Going back to predictions, just to round off. My dream would be to get some Jedi Survivor gameplay or something. I think it's a bit hopeful. But again, we don't know how far in development it is. It's been 2 years since that game came out.
Yeah.
No. Almost 3.
I think it's a little bit optimistic for that one. May happen, may not happen, but I think it's a bit too early.
Yeah, because I don't know how the respawn team's been split. I'm pretty sure there's a separate team for it.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say it could be maybe a bit off because the team's been working on Apex, but I'm remembering. I'm almost certain they said they've got 2 different teams. They've got a respawn team for the single player stuff, which is Jedi Fallen Order right now. Jedi Survivor now. It's a sequel.
Yes,
and they've got the Apex team.
I'm very glad about.
And we also know they're making a first-person shooter, a Star Wars first-person shooter.
Yes,
which is going to be awesome. I'm so into that.
It should be Titanfall 3, but I've said my piece.
Well,
see if they showed Titanfall 3 as a surprise thing. Oh my god. I will genuinely scream. But again, I think it's at a point now where Apex is that big. Apex is effectively Titanfall 3.
Yeah.
It is really.
Effectively it is.
I would also like to see, which I believe I mentioned off camera, off stream.
Possibly.
But that is are we still streaming, guys? My stream just shut down.
Looks like we're still good, still excellent.
Okay, good. I mean, on Twitchy poo.
Well, I've got the Twitch open. It's still streaming. The bitrate's still good, and it still says excellent.
Probably my iPad just errored. But what? Yeah, something went wrong. Okay, great. Thanks.
Nana put still here.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Thanks, Nana.
Yes, thank you, Nana. No, what I would also like to see Wolverine. I know that's
too early.
Oh,
I know it's too early. I know it is.
If it was going to be in it, it was going to be the state.
I know. I thought of that, and they didn't say anything. But it's I'm so looking forward to that. I just want a good Wolverine game. Because first of all,
I'm more looking to Venom and Spider-Man 2.
Venom would be good.
But I'll cry because it'll make me want to get a PlayStation to play it. And I'll need to wait to 2025 to play it on PC.
To be fair, if going back to Wolverine, if Wolverine is amazing, that will kind of light a fire under me. Because let's be honest, for anyone out there who reads the comics, Wolverine has. I'm sorry, I know this is not a mainstream belief. I have hated Wolverine for the last 4 years. It's been lame. It's been full of clones, and like his daughter is now called Wolverine, and I just don't feel the same loyalty to her that I do Wolverine. So I would like to see the game come out and kind of like have the old nostalgia of the old Wolverine. Again, that's me. That is not mainstream. Mainstream seems to love his daughter. I don't at all. X-23. She's just not for me. So give me old school Wolverine. And that's just me. That's just my opinion.
To be fair, when I read her original backstory when she was first introduced, I did kind of like it. She's a cool character to play as in MVC3.
Right. She's a cool character. She's not, for me, she doesn't feel the same Wolverine kind of.
Yeah, and that's why I think she should have just remained as X-23.
Yeah, and no, now that they've renamed her, I don't know. And then Wolverine's back, and it's like 2 Wolverines, and I get. Someone said something to the effect of like, well, Green Lantern is just Green Lantern. He goes by different names. Spider-Man now has Miles Morales and Peter Parker. Ooh, blah blah. It's not the same for me.
Wolverine. They have different powers as well.
Yeah, and Wolverine's just Logan, and I don't know. Again, completely personal opinion. I want to see some
of course
gameplay. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, I've got a couple.
On you go, Pete.
I think Brent might be somewhat correct on one of these.
What one?
Because I think we're going to get the first reveal of IO Interactive's James Bond game.
Oh gosh.
And the Xbox,
which will then be chased. Well, Summer's Games Fest.
Just Summer Game Fest.
Like across Summer Games Fest in any aspect. But then
I can see that.
That's when the GoldenEye reveal will happen as well.
Oh gosh.
It will just be, oh, by the way, available now.
On
Xbox Live.
If you love the International Man of Mystery, well, have we got an extra surprise for you?
GoldenEye remastered.
I don't
for Xbox.
know.
And that'll be when Nintendo pipes in and goes, you can play the N64 Classic on Switch Online.
And PlayStation then says, we have nothing.
Like, I know that you're right, Pete. It's probably gonna pop up, but like, I used to love it when I was like 8.
And that's what I'm saying. This is where the difference is that the Xbox will have the remastered version.
I don't know that remastered.
The Switch will have the N64 Classic version.
Yeah.
And Microsoft and Nintendo will laugh at PlayStation. It gets no James Bond except for probably our interactive one, which will be multiple platform.
Yeah, exactly.
See, after playing the Hitman trilogy on Game Pass,
oof, I love Hitman.
If it is literally Hitman but James Bond,
it will be. I'm sure it will be.
It'll be so good.
Look, if I can walk into somewhere, loudly exclaim that I am James Bond, drink a martini shaken not stirred, and then hump a lady, then I am all in.
They should make James Bond pansexual.
A pan, like saucepan.
No.
I always thought a frying pan would be more suitable.
No.
What about an aluminum non-stick?
Y'all are the devil.
What, you mean Teflon?
Yeah.
Y'all are the devil. But what were we talking about last week, Pete? James Bond? Was that the week before? I don't remember.
What?
We were just talking about James Bond. Maybe that was just us personally. I don't remember. But,
I think we were talking personally, but yeah.
I would love to see actual cool AF James Bond. I love old school James Bond. I don't care for the new stuff.
So, whilst I haven't officially been confirmed to be part of Summer Games Fest yet, I do think Nintendo are going to have a direct.
Really?
At some point.
Okay.
At some point in June, and it will come after the Xbox Showcase, as per this tradition with Nintendo and the E3 season.
Right.
Might be tough to say.
End of June, July, maybe.
Hmm.
Right,
No, No, I actually do think it's a couple of days after Microsoft Showcase, so it'll probably be 14th, 15th, maybe.
Well, I suppose because was the last direct not like announced like a few days before it even happened? Am I
Yeah,
making
exactly.
that?
Yeah, it was. They usually have. It's only around about the E3 time they give a little bit more notice, but obviously this time it's a bit different. I don't know why,
Yep.
but Breath of the Wild 2 will officially be shown on this one. I think.
Does it have
Breath of the Wild 2. God forbid we see any more of that Sonic game.
Oh my god.
No, we're going to see a lot more of Sonic
Oh my
Frontiers.
gosh.
Apparently, this Tuesday there's going to be another like reveal of it.
Oh
Like
my god.
the footage that we apparently saw was like an older build of it. I don't believe that, by the way. I think that game looks like trash.
For their
Oh
sake,
my
they better hope it's no
gosh.
build, because I was watching a video. It was comparing it to a fan-made game. It was like Unreal Engine, I believe it was.
There
Unreal
was
Engine
one. So there was one in Unreal Engine 5 that's been made, and then there was one that's been monetized now from the creator in Dreams.
Oh my god.
With Sega's like say so, they're allowed to do that.
Because I watched the Frontiers and I saw a video on comparing it to this Unreal Engine one, and the Unreal Engine one, it was genuinely so exciting to watch, like the fan-made one.
Yeah,
and you watch
Sonic Frontiers looks like absolute.
You know what it
dog
is? I think the open world makes Sonic look so slow, but then
Yes.
a fan-made game.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was watching it this morning and I went, why does he look so slow?
But then I saw the fan-made one, which like it was a tech demo, so like it wasn't a finalized game product, but it was like an open area, and he still somehow made Sonic look fast as F, and like an open space. Yet these developers couldn't.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's went wrong.
Nana's going crazy.
Yep, Nana's got it dead. Open world and Sonic do not mix at all.
I agree.
They shouldn't mix.
I mean,
Look,
Pete, what do you think? Like, I mean, Street Fighter and Sonic going open world. I mean, like, I love open world because I'm into like first person shooters, and
is this perhaps a discussion for another time, by the way?
Maybe it is. Okay, we'll save that as a theme for later.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I might have I'm trying to think of if I've got another prediction, but probably not. My biggest one is probably the Nintendo were there.
Yeah, Nintendo will definitely be that. Has Ubisoft said anything?
No.
What?
Ubisoft.
Says Ubisoft said anything?
Oh, I was. Cardi, what the hell is she doing?
I just saw that we've been streaming for 3 hours.
Yes. Yes, we have.
Yeah.
And recording for nearly 2 hours and 40.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Long one, guys.
Yeah. I think then maybe that justify us maybe not showing up next week. Leave people to take an announcement, and then the week after we'll do another big one discussing all the things. Perhaps.
I think you might be right, actually.
Yeah. But
check back in 2 weeks when this becomes a fortnightly podcast.
Once we've all digested the Fable reveal and the James Bond reveals,
oh my god,
all that, we'll be back.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I do also think that one other prediction that Brent has made is absolutely spot on. The Gears collection.
I can see it.
I think with the fact that they've already kind of remastered the first game, I think they're going to go down the route and remaster like the first 3 into it, or maybe even full remake them.
A Gears trilogy almost.
Yeah, I think so. Like kind of like Master Chief Collection did.
Gears of War 2 is one of my favourite games of all time. I'll look back on it. I say that like I can't even tell if I prefer Gears 3 or Gears 2. I think Gears 3 was great.
They're both fantastic.
You see Horde mode in Gears 3. One of the best survival modes.
100%.
Yes.
See the addition of allowing players to be the locusts as well in that mode against other players. Such a good. I don't know why survival games stopped doing that, where you had like the player v player survival mode dynamic. Because Left 4 Dead 2 had it years ago. I mean personally, right, this is a hot take maybe. Gears Judgment did Horde mode best.
No,
I probably did.
ODST did the Horde mode best.
People hate Gears. Well, don't hate.
Oh, I know they're not particularly fond of Judgment, but I know it did.
Gears Judgment Horde mode. I think it's the one I look most fondly on, just because like it came after Gears 3, and they had some unique changes to the Horde system where you still had that player v player aspect, but I don't know, it was just much more dynamic. I think it was, yeah. It was almost, if I remember it was like objectives to, I can't remember, but that's all different. But that'd be really cool to see him remastered and that Horde mode come back and people playing it again, because I would play that in a heartbeat.
I do love Horde mode, yeah.
Okay.
Even if they bring that back for Gears 5, I don't know if we'll see it for Gears 5. I don't know. No, wait, it's not Gears 5. Wait, Gears 5's out. What am I talking about? Gears 5 is released.
Yeah. That's been released.
Gears
Holy
6.
crap!
Yeah, Gears 6 would be. Good God, because they left us in quite a cliffhanger story in Gears 5. So we'd like to see Gears 6, something on it, I guess.
Do you think we'll see anything from Halo Infinite?
No.
No co-op?
Absolutely not. You want honest opinion? Absolutely not. We will not see anything. If they show us, like, I don't think it's worth showing up just to like show gameplay of co-op, because I don't think I'll do anything for the game. I think they're better just saving it when it's actually done and they can show its entirety. Same with Forge. I don't think there's a point unless Forge is in a state where, yeah, like they can show, here's us making a custom game, here's some custom games we've made, and here's the different tools you can use, almost like a kind of Unreal Engine demo.
Okay, right. I've got one more prediction for you. Well, I've just looked at the confirmed list of publishers that are due to be there and developers. There's one that's taking my eye very, very much at the moment, and no, it's not Capcom. Because there was a recent leak, potentially, of a release date, that I think they're either gonna shadow drop it, or it's gonna be released a week later as a result.
Week after the thing, okay.
That developer is .mu. Well, the game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
Right.
I reckon it's gonna get shadow dropped.
That makes sense.
The listing on the leaked listing on PlayStation has revealed it could have a June 16th release date. Could be a placeholder, but I do think it's going to get revealed. It's going to get Casey Jones added to the roster, and it's going to be very soon to release.
Yeah.
It could happen.
And if it does happen, day one.
I know, Pete.
Yeah. I think I'm all out of predictions. I don't know what else.
I am too.
I think the thing I'm really hoping to see is Injustice 3, after you mentioned it, is something that was never really on my mind when you brought up, and like,
okay,
elevated and the birds began to sing.
Yeah. In true E3 fashion, just one more thing.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Silent Hill.
Oh, of course.
Yes, that
I forgot. Yeah, because there's been rumors in the leak.
And Blooper are there, and they're apparently working on a Silent Hill game. I think we finally get the show of it.
You say Blooper team there?
Blooper.
Yeah, they're the ones doing it, and people are people are very hesitant about it, which is funny to me. But whatever.
I mean, the medium was great.
I mean, for what it is, and I think that could transfer to a Silent Hill game very much.
Yeah, the only reason why it might not happen is because Konami are not confirmed on this list. Now, being the license holder of Silent Hill could mean that it may not. Is Warner Blooper there? I think it's going to happen.
Is Warner Brothers on the list?
They are.
Alright, okay, I was going to say Warner Brothers don't tend to have their own show, but they still let the developers show stuff at other things, so I don't. And we're clearly false there. Ubisoft on the list. Well, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
As in, do Ubisoft have their own show? Because I had one last year, because I covered it for Rapid Reviews UK.
Ooh, there you go. They're supporting.
They doesn't look like they have their own show, and they're not on this list of confirmed developers and publishers yet. But it was stated when the tweet went out with all of this that there are more possibly to be announced, which is why I said Nintendo.
Devolver announced theirs only a few days ago again, so there's still time for these things to happen.
Yes,
I do hope that we'd see the final DLC that for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because they did say that the year 2 content for Valhalla will like be roughly the same as like the
Yeah.
first year. So in the first year we get 2 big DLCs. We've already had one in the second year with Dawn of Ragnarok.
Well,
So
if,
New Game Plus would actually just be a treat. See if they just say, "Oh, we're adding new features to Valhalla, like New Game Plus," and like that. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
enough. You can let the game rest now. Let's move on to the next. Because I've seen people. I was one of these people back in the day before. Was it before? I think it was after Odyssey. I was one of the people that really wanted the next one to be Ancient Rome. I really
Right.
wanted
Mm.
Ancient Rome.
Gosh.
And I still want Ancient Rome. I
Oh.
know we've beaten Rome in like I think it was 2 or Brotherhood.
Yeah, but
One of the ones at Ezio, but like I don't care. It's not
WP,
Rome. It's not the Roman
not.
Empire.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
as much as like the theme of this recent trilogy has been different pantheons of gods and like, the old kind of classical mythologies. It's been the
Right.
settings of ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, and then you've got the Norse mythology and the Norse kind of Viking roots in England. And the fact that the Roman pantheon is the Greek pantheon, you know, that's why I don't think we will see it. I want it to happen though, but
Mhm.
again, if they're sticking to this theme of religion, I'd actually be excited to see either like an Eastern mythology, you know, perhaps Indian or
Right.
even China.
I just love
I
to
think
see China. I would
I think
adore
that'd be a
that.
cool next one. But that being said, I'd still would love ancient Rome.
Oh,
in some-
that would be number one.
Ancient Rome would be cool. I think Ancient China would be awesome. And the only other one that I could probably see them doing, but it might tread on the toes of Sony a bit too much, is Feudal Japan.
Oh,
I know for Assassin's Creed, Japan rule. I believe China's the other one.
Mm.
That's the 3 big ones. Like,
Yeah.
I would
Japan.
just
I
be.
think Japan is number one though. I think
Oh
Japan
my
is the.
gosh.
Because it makes sense for Assassin's Creed. Like it makes sense.
It
Yeah,
does.
absolutely.
It could be where we actually finally get to play as an assassin again as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Exactly
they've
my
gone a bit
thoughts.
too far away from the Assassin's thing, hasn't they?
The thing is, it does work. I mean, Valhalla does it best. Valhalla is like set in the Assassin's Creed because there's assassins and Templars in it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you've got one, like they're part of the story, which is that's closest we've gotten in a good few years. But
Yeah.
yeah, Valhalla, New Game Plus. I don't know all new games. Oh, I see Splinter. See if we got a Splinter Cell finally. Oh,
that would be
something.
good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
for
the
sure.
Ubisoft
Right.
are confirmed. So maybe not. Who
Right.
knows? Don't
Right.
know.
But I think that's it. I think that's all I've got.
I think you might be right there. So let's call this a show. Last couple of comments that we've got here. But in the meantime, whilst we've been talking, Brent put, to be fair, there are lots of not E3 events happening next weekend. He also chimed in and put Gears 3 is my favourite. 4-player co-op, Horde overhaul, new characters added, lots of lore.
Yeah.
He also, with the last comment of the day, said Devolver's going to be hilarious as always,
Oh, I
which
can't
you
wait.
probably have to agree.
Always.
Nana came in and chimed in with 2 last comments for him. He put, "Oh no, the medium was real bad."
I mean,
I think that said this when we had our Game of the Year episode.
I need to play it.
graphically,
It's
it's beautiful. Graphically,
It's like enough. It takes that old style Resident Evil camera where it's like there's a
Yeah.
fixed camera.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
it works.
just,
think
I just really like the aspect that they're rendering 2 worlds at the same time.
it was a cool thing.
That's
Mechanics
Yeah.
wise, like
Yeah.
tech wise.
Yeah, so I do need to play it before the end of the year, of course.
I also think the story was really interesting. The characters
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
really...
But anyway,
I feel confident.
well, that is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Kylie, want your final thought? Have full confidence.
I was just gonna say I have full confidence in Bloober, which I know people don't, but I do.
Yep.
I can't wait. I would love to see a Silent Hill lore is awesome. Not as much as You know what? Now that I've seen Outlast, we haven't heard anything about Outlast 2 since the original reveal.
That's a good point.
Good point.
Very good point.
I would like to see anything because Outlast is. I said Outlast 2. It's Outlast 3, isn't it? Outlast.
Yeah, Brent put you like the medium.
Yeah, it's good. Outlast has great lore. Anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for this show. Shizzo.
So much for that short show, we said.
Yeah, I
Let's,
know.
let's stop holding these dear listeners and watchers hostage.
Yes, we will let you go. Wow, this is crazy. But, I mean, we're all very, very passionate about video games. We love to talk about it. And you're our watchers and listeners, so you love
Yeah,
it just as much.
of course. And you had to put up with me flooding my basement
Yes.
for a while.
I can't believe I said that on camera. But I did. And that's a thing that I said. So,
And now I've said it.
now Pete has said it. But anyway, I'm going to be a good girl and say, Pete, how can they find you out there in Never Never Land?
Well, they can find me on Twitter, usually at the same place as always, which is Pete Beckett1. Spelled P-E-C-K-E-T-T and the number 1. But you can also hear me waxing lyrical about some Marvel movies on another podcast called The Never Watchers. We've just released episodes 3 and 4, and episodes 5 and 6 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier due to come soon.
So have you started watching Key, is it now?
I have not started yet because we're taking a tiny little hiatus while Kurt is on holiday.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes.
I think you'll like Loki, Pete. I hope you do. Really hope.
I will get back to you once I've finished it.
Certainly a better follow-up to Falcon and the Soldier.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I heard a lot of stuff about Falcon and the Winter Soldier beforehand that put me off a little bit, but I will save that for you to listen to.
Yeah, cool. A little teaser for you folks.
You can also...
Karen?
Okay.
Me?
Well, yes.
Twitter. That's where I usually read. You can.
Oh, look at me. I'm so cool. You can find me on Twitter. Usual place.
If you want to find me somewhere, I guess you could go to Twitter. And on there, you can find me at the McGinn, TheEMCGINN. And I got to pull that off. But yeah, that's the main place you can find me. You can find links to my own personal blog, podsplayreview.com, which has been lying dormant while job hunting for a while. And also, I believe I've also got the Twitter link to Rapid Reviews UK's Twitter on my bio as well, where I hope to hopefully cover 1 or 2 events for the site.
Yes. So, being the fact that you said that your blog has remained dormant for a while, and considering the conversation that we had last weekend about a certain film, I really think you should give it a go and restart the blog with a certain Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh dear, I don't know about that one. I mean,
I know. That's why I think you should do it. It'll be quite inflammatory. It'll be an interesting read.
Perhaps we will see. Kiley, where could they find you?
If you're out and about in the interwebs looking for anything to entertain you, I post pictures of baby birds. So you can find me over at oh crap.
Oh my god, really?
It's Kiley to Greet. KLEYTHGREET. There.
Hey. You remembered your own Twitter handle.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, right now I'm absolutely obsessed with the robins that live in my garden, and they come and they talk to me and they hang out and they're my buddies and I love them and I will protect them with my life. So,
they are my children.
They are my robin children. Yes. So that is where you can find me there. I think that's going to do it for the actual show. So we'll wrap that up right now. And thanks to all of our listeners and our watchers over at Rapid Reviews, twitch.tv. I did that wrong. Twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. Thanks so much for joining us. So we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Adios.
Goodbye.
Woo! That ends our podcast.
That is our longest recording outside of a Game of the Year show ever.
It's because we're so passionate about video games.
And driving. Don't forget that segment.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We're so passionate about the driving.
It's my fault. I talked about driving too much.
No, it was funny.
Yeah. And then,
but
think.
we'll do about 3 more minutes here live, and then we'll wrap it up for real.
No problem. So if you've got anything you want to discuss, like
driving.
If nobody wants to talk about this, I'll take another 3 minutes to talk about Street Fighter 6.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
because I forgot to talk about the art style.
Please, Ciaran.
I was going to say on the Injustice 3 thing, I forgot. Do you remember that Nvidia leak a while back? You know, it had God of War.
It was on there, yeah.
Injustice 3 was on that leaked list, and almost every game, well, most of the games in that list, a lot of the games on the list, sorry, not most of them, a lot of the games on that Nvidia list have now came out, or have been become
confirmed, yeah.
So God of War was announced in PC, it's now out. What was the other ones? There's a bunch of other ones, but yeah, Injustice.
There's been loads, yeah.
Injustice was on that list. So I'm thinking, yeah. Because again, Mortal Kombat 12 doesn't make sense.
Right.
I think what makes Mortal Kombat so good. I mean, to be fair, Mortal Kombat 11's been out for a good long while, so I'd still get really pretty hyped to see another epic blockbuster campaign from it.
Yeah.
I'd get hyped
to see the trailer again.
I probably would as well. Brent just chimed in and put, "I'm tired just watching."
But yeah, no.
I've still got to edit this, you know.
Well, you know what? We love video games here. So, video games.
And to be fair, also the last time that we recorded was a Thursday night, so it's been a while.
Oh yeah, we had a lot to get out of our system.
Yeah, we needed to be silly for a little bit.
Yeah. Gotta be a little quirky today, guys. You know.
If that's what you would call it, yeah.
I'm so random.
You call it quirky. I call it an utter mess at times, but a good mess.
I think my segue was really good.
Hello,
Latino Heat, you're back. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can go back and watch the VOD. Your timing's impeccable because we're just gonna close the show in a minute.
Yeah.
But go for it, Ciaran. What were you about to say?
I think my segue onto the state of play was exceptional.
I tried to derail that if you didn't notice.
Yep.
But
I perfectly brought it back.
I was gonna say
any
did not succeed. So
okay.
mass respect.
Brent's chimed in. It says, "What about the Warframe dilemma, Kiley? You never gave your thoughts. ... And that's where we end the stream for today.
Brent, I might have already said this, Brent.
He also highlighted the message with bits too, so he really wants this answered.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I remember, Brent. I may have already said this in a previous stream, but I gave Warframe a try, and I actually went explored more of the game, like open world areas that I never really before. I still just couldn't get into it. I did try my best. God love me, Pete. God love me, Brent. I did try it, so can't fault me. But yeah, I just feel so far behind. I just feel it's been that long. Like I'm not there. But yeah, that's it. I gave it a try at least. I'm like these two, I imagine.
I will try my best. I really do. Look, here's the ultimate thing for all of our watchers. I was gonna say listeners, but they're not here. And look at that. I once
got distracted.
I did. I really got distracted, if you couldn't tell. I really want a game that I can just lose myself in and lore and all of that stuff. So, you know, I'm open-minded.
Must resist.
We stream every... What, Pete?
I was going to say, must resist the urge to start doing, you better lose yourself.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, I think I'm going to...
I think I'm done. I think I'm starting to be crazy, but yes.
I am, for lack of a better word, starving.
I am absolutely sorry. I haven't eaten today. I drank a bottle of wine, but I haven't eaten. So...
Sure. Yeah, thanks Latino Heat for turning up. We will try. We are going to try and stream something next Sunday, maybe for the Bethesda and Xbox showcase. other than that, and you got this episode to listen to, which is a nice long one for you to
It's
go back and
really
listen
good.
to. So,
That's really
but
long.
we may even do we may not do an episode next week. We might do the week after, where we round up everything Summer Game Pass
happened,
related.
Because next week is quite busy because we've got the Devolver one.
It's
Yeah.
right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
So
The Devolver one, we've got also, I believe, Day of the Devs is on Thursday night as well.
Oh, right.
I think yes, it is. It's
Day of
after
the Devs.
opening night live.
So let's say
So-
goodbye to
so,
our
and
watchers.
Yeah, we'll discuss this a little bit more afterwards because
Yeah,
they
this
clearly
is
don't want
all
to listen to this. But
screen stuff.
highlighted message from Brent. He said, "That's all I ask. Give it an hour or so." And he put, "I have so many
Definitely.
viewer points. I could afford to highlight all my
Aw.
messages."
Well, we
So thanks, Brent.
appreciate
Much
that,
appreciated.
Brent. Yeah.
BX Latino Heat said, "If so, I'll be here early."
Excellent. We'll see you when we come back. Thanks so much to all of our watchers and our listeners. Thanks so much to Ciaran for joining us again this week. He's our favorite. And thank you to Pete always. Yes, the Hardys. All the Hardys. Oh god, I really am not bad at that. Anyway.
Oh, mine was terrible as well. I could
Yeah.
barely see it.
We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.